Hello, and you're listening to You Still Going On About That with Rob Israel and Joseph K. You could find us anywhere you could download podcasts. Like, comment, and subscribe. You could also follow us on our Instagram at YSGOAT, Facebook at YSGOAT, and at Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about
that.
Season 2, Episode 1.
Season 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
YSGOAT.
YSGOAT.
You still going on about that.
Right. And this is, I think, chronologically, this will be the 57th full-length episode.
Yeah.
We did 56 episodes, season 1.
Solid episodes.
Solid episodes.
Some mini ones in between.
Yep, and we did, I think there was like 4 mini episodes. We did the Dorfund, the Tim Gunn.
I wouldn't consider that a real episode.
No, that was like a 5-minute
excerpt. It's like a clump from an episode, and
right.
It's okay.
Yeah, and we did a Sonic the Hedgehog.
We're trying to exploit the death of, what was his name?
Tim Conway.
Tim Conway,
right.
Yeah, we thought we'd jump on that train.
I would say there's like such a thin line between exploitation and homage. Like,
well, I mean, exploitation of a man who was Dorfund Golf, I guess, is acceptable.
Yes.
Use the word exploitation.
I watched
a man who made a good chunk of his career was making videos selling himself as a dwarf on golf.
Well, there's because what started that is like, I forget how we mentioned it, but Steven Dorff came up.
Right.
And he's in a new show. I don't know the show's name, but he plays like a cop in Los Angeles or something. And
that could be any show.
Well, they're always saying like Steven Dorff is, and then they say the name of the show. And I always
want to say golf?
Yeah, I just want to.
Steven Dorff is playing golf.
I
will always think of him as the kid from The Gate. Do you know the movie The Gate? 80s horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it was I didn't realize till later, but it was considered a Canadian horror movie.
Oh, okay.
But that's probably explains why they keep saying hoser.
Spooky, eh?
Yeah,
Spooky.
Yeah, they kept on saying that. No, I think it was made in Canada, but it was not like, it wouldn't feel like an old episode of Degrassi when I was watching it. But do you remember that movie at all?
Well, is
the
it
one with the little demons?
Yeah.
That movie's pretty incredible, actually.
I'm trying to remember the cover of the the VSH.
It's a VHS.
VHS
or Betamax.
Right.
Super Beta. Laserdisc.
Is that the one where it's like a sewer grate type of thing and you see the hands?
No, I think you're thinking of Chud.
No, I'm not thinking of Chud.
I don't remember a sewer grate because I don't... It mostly takes place in this kid's house.
Okay.
And like hell on earth, like a gate. Well, it's called a
gate.
Right,
sure.
But one of the scary scenes in that movie, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid. Like the movie itself, like, it wasn't scary, but there's a part where like, they read enchantments and like an eye appears on his hand.
Oh no!
And he has to like stab it with glass. And,
right.
And the thing was like when I don't know how much older he is than me, but when he's in that movie, and I saw that probably like when it was on video.
Sure.
So it wasn't that far after it was out in the theater. He wasn't much older than me.
Yeah.
And there's this kid stabbing his hand to get this eyeball out of his hand. Freaked the fucking shit out of me because we're almost the same age. So it was like, I'm like, kids shouldn't have to go through that.
Any of that, like, I mean, maybe that's not classic body horror, but any of those things.
One eyeball appearing in your hand sounds pretty awful too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's just nothing.
And he had to stab it out, which I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it.
Close your palm, to lot.
I think you want to get rid of it, though.
Yeah,
you want to get rid of that.
Right. That tracks. That tracks.
You're like, this isn't good.
Right.
I don't think it's like, now he's like, cool, I have an eye. I think it's like his hand's being possessed. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
It's like some Evil Dead shit. All right, well, we're going on a tangent. What's this episode about?
The Mandalorian.
The Bandalorian?
No, the Mandalorian. Now, you may not remember this. It's a soft reboot.
Nicolas Cage's movie, something Mandolin?
No, Captain Corelli's Mandalorian.
Captain Corelli's Mandalorian?
No. Although we did talk about that.
The Mandolin.
Right. When I first heard the Mandalorian, I thought it was like a reboot of Back to the Future in which Marty McFly merged with the car
and he was a
Mandalorian.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. I thought that was weird that Disney would say first show out the gate on Disney Plus or streaming services. We're going to do a show about a guy who merges with a DeLorean.
Yes,
and he's now a man in extreme pain.
Well, he would have been he would have been a kid in Back to the Future, but several years later, through some sort of time traveling accident, he merged with the car
and became a Mandalorian.
Right, a Mandalorian. Yeah. And I was thinking that they would maybe even bring Hasselhoff back, and it would be like
well, let's leave him out of that.
Okay. No, the Mandalorian.
You mean the legendary Creed?
Yes,
it's
right.
Creed. It's not a race. It's a creed.
It's a creed.
Not Apollo Creed.
I will say that the Mandalorian, the show on Disney Plus, that's 8 episodes long.
Yep.
And I will say I loved it. The Mandalorian.
Okay.
The streaming show.
Not what we were talking about.
Well, you brought up the fact that Mandalorian's a creed, not a race or.
Well, that's revealed in episode 8. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's not jump the gun.
Oh yeah.
No, spoilers, guys. We're gonna be spoiling the entire season.
Yes.
Of the Mandalorian.
Right.
All 8 episodes.
Exactly. Yeah.
All of them.
One by one. Just nothing but spoilers.
If you haven't watched it yet, and you don't care, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to let these guys explain the show to me. I have no intention watching it. I mean, that's on you. You'll miss out on some good visuals.
I think anybody interested in this, even remotely, has tracked it down.
Yeah.
Basically. I'm sure there's someone living in a cave on another planet under a rock who has not yet seen it.
Right.
But if you, there's a lot of different ways you can watch it. Disney Plus, obviously.
Disney Plus is technically the only way.
Well, you can go
on
Apple TV. You can go and buy episodes of the.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Already? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
We got a 1 year free Apple Plus TV, Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
Is what it is. And you can kind of like on Amazon where you can buy HBO.
Yeah.
Like week by week. You can also get episodes of The Mandalorian.
So you don't have to get Disney Plus. You can just buy it.
I don't think so. Now, look, to be perfectly fair, I have not done it, but I was just on Apple TV.
All right, well, we're not doing a commercial Apple TV, so I'm not talking about it anymore.
Yes.
We don't get paid by these people. Joseph, unless you are, you're not telling me.
I know.
Like, are you getting promotions? Like,
they pay me in Bitcoin.
They pay you in Dogecoin.
Oh, jeez.
Not even Bitcoin.
So if you want to see it, you've probably seen it. I think a lot of people that had no desire to see it have tracked it down because of one of its leading characters.
Let's not spoil that.
No.
My God, no. No, we don't want to spoil what everybody already knows already.
But we'll talk about it, and I'm
kind of suspense.
I'm kind of excited to talk about it.
You talking about Brian Posehn being in episode 1?
Exactly.
Legendary comedian Brian Posehn.
Well, I think
the taxi driver that gets eaten by a big walrus monster.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right? That's the thing everybody's going nuts over.
Well, that's what
Brian
all the merch is.
That's the thing that is everybody's going crazy about the Mandalorian. It's like, holy shit, Brian Posehn.
He's instantly memeable. He's.
I'm just keeping mention his name, and maybe it'll get out to him, and then he'll promote our show.
He could come on and talk about his time on The Mandalorian.
He has a much bigger career than that, but just come over and talk about and he'll be like, do you want to talk about other things?
No,
like, no, just you as the taxi driver, and then you get eaten by a lizard, a sea monster, walrus thing that came out of the ice.
Pull up a bar stool and we'll crack open a beer.
Yeah, what was your name in the script? Lunch, daytime snack.
Well, so I'm curious to talk about this with you because we talked about it briefly a couple times.
Yes, we have brought it up,
and we've texted about it. But you know much more about because you've read some of the comics and you're more familiar with.
Well, I've seen like Rebels and Clone Wars, the cartoons. And when I say Clone Wars, I mean like the CGI series.
Yes.
I mean not the little 3-minute cartoons that they did before the movies.
Right. Those were cool.
They were they're cool, but that's not what they did. Episodes where they introduced these guys called Death Watch. And it's kind of funny because one of the people who voiced one of the leaders of Mandalorian was Jon Favreau, who is, I guess, what is he considered, the showrunner? The producer?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not directing, but is he the showrunner?
I would call him, like, I think he calls the shots as far as the story arc. And
then Dave Filoni, who was like, I don't know what his title is. I mean, he did
episodes 1 and 5.
But what's his title on the show? Is he a producer also? Or
that's a great question. Jon Favreau is, and I got it down here.
You might know him from the movies Swingers.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like 1,000 other things. He also directed Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and
he's the creator, head
what
writer.
Does he play in Iron Man? He plays Happy Hogan.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All right, he's the creator, head writer, showrunner, and executive producer. Dave Filoni is also an executive producer, and he wrote an episode. Favreau wrote most of the episodes.
Okay, well, Dave Filoni having him involved is a big deal which shows you that, and if you watched all 8 episodes and you did watch Rebels or watched Clone Wars, the 2008 Clone Wars series, you will see stories that that the Mandalorian takes place in the same universe. They're not shying away. Like, they're not going to say, okay, this was a cartoon, we're not going to acknowledge it's like continuity. It's part of the Star Wars lore.
Right. It's canon.
So they're going to respect it. So people are since they do bring elements, and I'll get into it, some people are freaking out thinking that oh cool, we're actually going to get to see a lot. Now maybe in season 2, we might see some live action, some characters who were CGI originally now come into this Mandalorian world and be live action or more live action CGI as opposed to kids cartoon CGI.
Well, I remember on Twitter, as I was going through The Mandalorian, and we can talk about this too, but they were releasing it week by week, which we both agreed was a great decision.
I first didn't because I'm so used to Netflix, and the way I see it, there's 2 ways to look at it. Everybody's calling Disney geniuses, they paced it out and all the things, all the gifts and everything.
Right.
And it's but the reality is, we can argue about this.
Sure.
You're not going to win. Is that Disney Plus does not have... Disney Plus has a lot of the old cartoons, the old series, a lot of cartoons.
It's a limited catalog.
It has a lot of movies. It got more of the Marvel movies back. It's got all the Star Wars movies now, except for Solo and obviously Episode 9.
Yep.
But they'll get Solo eventually back from Netflix. But out the gate, the only real new content, I know the Jeff Goldblum show is just... People are just dying for that.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And there's some other, High School Musical crap and all that shit.
Yeah.
But the real draw is the Star Wars TV show. That's the gold. That's the premium item. And that's the thing that people, that's what's going to get a lot of people who are not 8-year-old girls.
That's why I got it. That's 100% the reason I got it. My kid watches a few things.
Yeah.
But she could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And, she has watched some of the old Disney movies from the 50s or 60s.
Right. So if they released all 8 episodes, and they only have 8 episodes, and if they released all 8 episodes immediately, people would have dropped that shit after a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, from what I understand, a lot of people have discontinued.
I paid for a year up front because you get a discount.
It's a much smarter play.
Kind of, not really. I guess if I want to rewatch any of the Marvel movies, yeah.
I think WandaVision is going to be on.
It won't be until December. So they announced next. I saw the schedule. The Clone Wars series is coming back for one more season. They announced that even before Mandalorian was announced.
Right.
And people lost. They were like, "Yay!" That's coming back in February, so that's good. So there's some new Star Wars content. And then I think. Freaking whatchamacallit, the first Marvel show is Falcon and Bucky.
Falcon and the
that's
Winter
not
Soldier.
till they announced that's not till October. And then there's some other show. I don't know if there's something else. And then the other big one is WandaVision was originally supposed to come out in spring of 21. Now they're saying it's December of 20.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's January 2nd recording this. We're gonna be waiting a while.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I kind of wish that they had more stuff they had some more stuff ready to go. Yeah. I don't want them rushing it. I want it to be as good as possible.
Well, I wonder, cause my daughter's 9, and there's a whole subgenre of 2-hour made-for-TV Disney movies that she eats up.
Yeah, but I don't care.
I don't care, yeah. Me neither, but I'll tell you, when
I'm not the customer for that.
The Descendants was on, and the Zombies show was on. There's like 3 or 4. They're all basically retellings of Romeo and Juliet with modern music or whatever.
Oh, excellent.
And I bought them. I'd go on and I'd buy them streaming. And I mean, like, honestly, like, I was probably going through one a month with her. Like, a new movie would come out and she'd watch. So Disney, even if you paid monthly, I think it's only like $5-6 a month or something.
It's a little more than that. But yeah, it's not that. It's cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, so...
they're not paying us, so I'm not going to advertise it.
No. All right, so...
I mean, unless Disney wants to pay us money.
Right.
But we're not going to kiss your ass, Disney.
Mickey coin.
Yeah, pay us some Mickey coin.
Rat coin.
Rat coin. Rat shit. Pay us some rat shit. Oh, hey! Eat my shit!
Right.
Hey!
Or they could, like, give us an old out-of-copy print of, like, Mickey's Will to Power, or all those, like, bizarre...
Oh, you mean, like, the original cut to Fantasia? Do you know what the original cut to Fantasia has?
No, but didn't it...
Some real racist shit.
Yeah. Well, like, Song of the South was, like, super racist.
Well, Song of the South is super racist. That's it. But, like I said, there's original cuts of other things.
Well, isn't it, like, based on the Wagner, like...
there's... Okay, so Fantasia has multiple... It's not, like... When people think of Fantasia, they just think of Mickey with the brooms.
Yes.
That's one skit in the entire thing. That's what lures the children.
Right.
It's beautiful, but it's boring as fuck.
Yeah,
You know, it's like the Ice Capades when I was a kid. My parents would be like, "You want to go to the Ice Capades?" And I'd be like, "Yay, the Smurfs are going to be there.
Right.
Whoopee!" And then I'll go there.
Right.
And I'm sitting there watching, like, ice skaters. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, like, for 5 minutes, there's, like, a big Smurf thing.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. And then after that, it's just back to the boring-ass Skype shit. And I'm just like...
Yeah.
So, that's what Fantasia to me was, like, when I think of that. But there's a scene with Fantasia with centaurs.
That sounds terrifying already.
Well, and they're all, like... All the centaurs are, like, white and beautiful.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And I'm just going to stop there.
Sure, yeah.
Google search original cut Fantasia.
Well, yeah.
And
we could go down a long...
talk to a college professor or something. First thing you do is don't, like, look up, like, Stefan Villeneuve or some other alt-right racist piece of shit. See the footage of the original Fantasia.
Well, let's shift to the Mandalorian.
But you know what's funny before we get to that? Yeah. One of the things, like, Dumbo's on there, and they had to, like, they put little explanations in the beginning, like, that say, like, cultural sense, or they say something like, I don't remember exactly what it says in the beginning, but there's a warning. It's just saying, like, hey, you know what? This movie's from the fucking 40s.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. You're going to see some shit.
It's 90 years old.
The movie is... There are people who are older that are dead.
Yeah.
That made it to old age and are dead. This movie's older than them.
Right.
I was like, I saw that and I'm like, you know what? They should put that before Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
With, like, all the racist aliens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that could be a long...
Watto, Jar Jar, the aliens, the Trade Federation guys. They all have, like, really bad stereotypical voices. And they should put that same warning before. They should. Out of all the Star Wars movies, they should put that one because it's just like.
Well, Episode 1 was just like brutal.
Which came out in 1999. I would say it's probably more offensive than the crows in Dumbo.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there is a lot of, like, problematic content.
Yeah, and it's a good idea that Disney. What would you rather have Disney do? Edit it, and then people get racist shit and say, "Why is Disney editing that stuff?" The Fantasia stuff they should edit out because that stuff is mercifully evil.
So, there's a difference. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get on too far of a tangent, but I remember when I taught, I would always we'd read a lot of books, you know, and a lot of the books had problematic content. But I would never in a million years read Huck Finn.
Didn't they edit out Huck Finn?
There's a copy out there where they edited out the word...
what's the word?
Come
on, Justin. Say it.
They use the N-word over and over again in the book. And, you know, that was one of the books we could read. I never did. I was just like, look, man, there's like a bajillion great books out there. We don't gotta. This one isn't one we need to.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
The N-word.
Right.
When I was at the dentist a while back last year, I had this one dentist who was like really funny. And it's like, try humor. It's like talking to you. And I was getting a cavity. And he just like, he's about to put the needle in my mouth.
Right.
He just goes, we don't like to see the N-word around here. I'm like,
what?
And then he's like, needles.
Oh my Lord. That shit's not okay.
I was like, God damn it. I started cracking up.
That is
needles. I was like, I could see that in a dentist's office. That makes total sense.
All right. Well, all right. So when The Mandalorian was announced, I remember...
Speaking of old-timey racist shit, well, The Mandalorian...
When The Mandalorian came out, was announced...
Is it problematic?
I remember thinking, like, this is nothing I'm interested in seeing.
It looked like the first thing they announced was a Mandalorian, which is obviously, again, I think it's been proven that Boba Fett and Jango are not technically Mandalorians. Supposedly, I don't know, some Star Wars nerds said that. Like,
is that true? Is Boba Fett not a Mandalorian?
Well, Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett.
Right.
So he is just a cop, technically I forgot, it's like all the clones from the Clone Wars are like typical clones of Jango Fett, while Boba Fett is a perfect clone of Jango, meaning that he will age a normal life cycle.
Right.
And he was considered like a son to him, versus the clones who age, they age twice as fast. So that's why they were able to, like, in the Clone Wars, when Obi-Wan goes down there and he sees all the clones, they already have like adult. And then you see the kids. So like, the adults were like technically like 9 or 10 years old, and the kids were all like really 5, even though they looked like they were 10.
Well, why
does double speed them to get them into production? But like, Boba is like a perfect clone in that he will age like a normal person.
And he just chose to wear Mandalorian armor.
Well, we never. The funny thing is, and I won't get into this. So obviously, we saw the very unnecessary appearance of young Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones. It was like, hey, guess what? Boba Fett's going to be in Attack of the Clones. Holy shit.
Right.
Yeah, he's a little kid.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
you could have just had Jango Fett in it and not had Boba in it at all.
Well, Boba Fett became such like a popular,
but then the Clone Wars series came out, and the cartoon, and like around season 2, they brought back young Boba Fett, and he was getting. This is where you start to learn how he infiltrates the crime world, and he gets into the bounty hunter scene.
Okay.
As a young, like a 12-year-old or whatever. So each season showed him get older, but the show ended. It brought when Disney bought Star Wars, Clone Wars still was on Cartoon Network.
Right.
Disney cut it off, and they canceled it, and a lot of people were pissed off because it was up to season 6, and it was 1 or 2 more seasons they needed to really close it out. There was good storylines with Darth Maul, and there was a good storyline with Boba Fett going. There was a good story going with Ahsoka and all these characters, and it was leading up to Episode 3, and Disney was just we don't want any Clone Wars shit. We want everything to lead to. We want people to forget about the prequels. We want everybody to start thinking about the adventures of Rey, Finn, and Poe. No, they didn't know what they were yet because this was 2012. But that was their first mantra was we want to just focus on original trilogy shit. We don't want... And then they released Rebels. And the funny thing about Rebels was everyone thought this was just going to be a thing leading to original trilogy.
Uh-huh.
But really, it carried over a lot of the storylines from Clone Wars. Because they got the same guy to work on it.
Right.
But there's still holes in the story. And one of them is okay, we're starting to see how Boba Fett becomes part of he starts hanging out with Bossk.
Okay.
And the Cad Bane was this character they introduced who was a bounty hunter. He starts hanging out with him. There's all these different... the storyline is kind of cool. It's that's why people have this false... Younger people have a false nostalgia for the prequels.
Okay,
it's because of the Clone Wars series.
Right.
Clone Wars series, the first season's not very good, but I started jumping in certain episodes, when they announced Darth Maul was going to be it. That's when I started watching. I was ooh.
Right.
And then the last couple of seasons, I really got into it. And overall, it was pretty good. Like, it even made Jar Jar cool in an episode.
Yeah.
It worked perfectly because he's like a cartoon. It worked as a cartoon.
That would make much more sense.
Yeah. But I think that's like, and we'll get to the Mandalorian in a second. I know we're not. I think this is where Disney. If I were Disney, I would not make any more Star Wars movies. I would make all this shit episodic TV because you could do so much more characters. You could do so many things because when you make a movie, it's like if you leave out somebody's favorite character or you don't give them enough justice, and everybody freaks out. And they're like, "Oh, that's it." But if you do a TV series, eventually that character will get a whole episode dedicated, and everyone will be happy.
TV has gotten so good.
And it's not technically TV. That's the funny thing. We refer to Disney Plus, Netflix, and Amazon as TV. It's not TV. I mean,
it's a different thing.
You're watching it on your phone or an iPad or your laptop or on your TV.
Yeah,
or you can watch it literally on anything.
But even like quality-wise, it's somewhere between movies and TV.
Well, HBO definitely like changed the game on that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot
cable.
of the Netflix originals.
No, but cable, it really changed once like Oz and Sopranos came out, things like that. True. It really just changed the way we as an audience perceive TV. We did, it's like the networks didn't know how to make shows like that.
Yeah.
It's like they're more concerned like how are we going to get people to come in and watch an episode of the Rockford Files if they're not going to watch it. We need to sell insurance commercials,
Well, and they couldn't count on, like, I don't know, it used to be, like, back in the day, like, you couldn't count on a regular schedule kind of going through. You'd have, like, sporting events break it up and news events break it up, and all of a sudden you have the Olympics and your show's not going to be on for 6 months. Like, it was a weird... Maybe I'm overstating it because I have like a memory from when I was a little kid, but I remember just trying to watch like fucking Battlestar Galactica, and it came on like every Sunday night. But then it was like the Olympics, and then there was some like big news event happening.
Now you can watch anything you want at any time.
Exactly,
almost if you have access to it.
And if you because this was before VCRs really were in full effect. If you missed an episode, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you
had to wait like you were lucky a year.
Right.
I'd be like, if I missed an episode, I'd be fuming. I'd be like, and this is again, regular TV. Okay? Yep. So. Back to Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Sorry, all these storylines. It started to explain more things. So we get into a lot of the Star Wars lore that people really enjoy, like the Darksaber, all these other elements. They start showing up in Mandalorian, and that's why people are freaking out because they're like, okay, well, we had a cartoon. We had Dave Filoni, had Clone Wars, Rebels, and now... Clone Wars is going to come back for like another season or two on Disney Plus to finish out the series, which people are excited because maybe we'll see what happened to Boba Fett as he, what gets him. We already see him as a bounty hunter. When does he put on the Mandalorian helmet and becomes Boba Fett? But like I said, supposedly he's not a true Mandalorian because he doesn't follow the creed. Like, he's just wearing their fucking armor. He's a bounty hunter. Like, he's just like...
Well, that's fucked up.
Like,
I would imagine other
fucked up.
Mandalorians...
Sometimes I like to wear, like, a priest thing.
Right. Yeah, well, that's also fucked up.
When I go to graveyards, it's a great way to pick up chicks.
Well, okay, so when they first announced it, I was like, this is probably the least... interesting thing I can imagine. It just looked dumb.
It's just like, okay, it's fake Boba Fett.
Yeah. And I was like, it's a guy in a suit. Like, you're never going to see
I didn't think it looked dumb. I just was like, okay, whatever. I mean, like, I'm sure it would have been decent. And then and they didn't show you shit.
No.
They didn't show you anything until, like, October. Like, some images started leaking. I think, like, started seeing, like,
but they were, like,
what IG-88 or IG-11 looked like. Yes. And I saw, like, an image of Carl Weathers, and I think an image of what's her name, Cara Dune.
Yes, right. The old
Gina Carano.
Yeah, the rebel shock trooper.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that you find out she's from Alderaan. So that's kind of cool.
That was
just shows you she's just like
she's got a chip on her shoulder.
Well, I would too if my planet was blown up.
She's got a score to settle.
Yeah, I would definitely be a little miffed.
Yeah.
If my planet was blown up by a Death Star.
Well, it didn't look good. And
I mean, it didn't. Okay, hold on. I think it didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad. But I was like, look, if someone said you have the Star Wars property, make a show out of it, I could think of at the time. I was like, I could think of 20 other stories I'd rather hear than this one. And man, I was wrong because I love this story.
Jester's Diner.
Well, I was
you could have just had like a reboot of Rhoda.
I was like,
remember Rhoda?
Yeah.
The Dexter Jester's Diner. They should just do that.
Yeah,
that shit, dude.
Well, I was like, look,
hey Dexter, you peeking your ass with your other arm? You got me. My bad.
You could have done basically World War II knockoff where it was rebel soldiers fighting in the trenches against stormtroopers. Basically a Battle of Hoth show. I would have liked that. Would have been good for me. I
already saw that already.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's a bunch of other things that I was interested in.
Well, regardless, at first I was like, okay, is this Boba Fett?
Right.
Like 2, we gotta find out it's Boba Fett. So then the trailer, I think, came out finally like in September or like around Comic-Con. They released like a little after Comic-Con. They released a teaser, and then before the show came out, they released like a good solid trailer. And I'm like, okay, this looks pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. By then I was like, definitely.
The one thing they didn't reveal, at all,
the crown jewel of the franchise,
of everything, the thing that is saving Star Wars.
Yeah,
the thing that doesn't even matter what you think of Star Wars anymore.
Right? No.
It's Werner Herzog. Right? We're talking about Werner Herzog.
He's the one who steered this in the right direction.
Well, he did say, what's his tagline? Show me the baby, or I want to see the baby. What does he say? I want to see the baby, or show me the baby.
You cowards!
No. What did he say in the show? He didn't say show me the baby. Because I'm thinking of Cuba Gooding Jr. and saying show me the money, which in a way is like the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Show me the bunny. I mean, show me the baby.
Well, he's like use a puppet.
No,
what?
No, that's not how it went down. They used a puppet. They were going to change. They were thinking of using CGI. He said. He was one of the people who said, stick with the puppet.
Yes.
So they did have a puppet. We're talking about Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
The child.
The first episode is, they call it the child?
I think they call him the asset or they call him...
Do you have the listing of episode names?
Yeah. The first one is just called The Mandalorian. That's the name of the episode.
Let's just go in. We're going to do episode 1 through 8.
Yeah.
And we're just going to talk about each episode. We're going to try to stick to the episodes and rank them.
Okay, so the first episode is called The Mandalorian.
And it's a pilot.
And it is definitely a pilot. And when I saw it, I had low expectations, but I loved it a whole lot.
Well, I knew Baby Yoda leaked online before we picked up. I didn't pick up Disney Plus until I think the day, because it came out Tuesday or something, and then Friday episode 2 came out. So it was kind of cool. We were kind of getting 2 episodes that week. So I just waited till there were 2 episodes, and then I bought it or paid for the service. And because I saw an image online, someone posted the Baby Yoda, because in the end of the spoilers, in the end of Mandalorian, it is revealed that the asset that he needs to get is a Baby Yoda.
It's a living Baby Yoda.
It's not. Some dork is going to say, technically, that's not Yoda.
Right.
And I'd say to them, okay, what is it? What are we going to call it then?
Yeah.
Green thing?
Right. It's Baby Yoda.
Marketing dictates it's Baby Yoda.
Well,
if they had a Baby Darth Vader in it.
Right. Baby Vader.
We were called Baby Vader regardless. Yes. And technically, that's not Baby. Darth Vader died sacrificing himself to save his son against the Emperor. This is something else.
When I saw it...
It's a magic xylophone.
The Mandalorian... the first one. Now this is the one where you a whole bunch.
Well, you learn it's a pilot, so it's a pilot. So you get introduced it begins very an intro. It begins in a kind of a weird cantina type scene.
Yep.
There's a bunch of alien talking. There's a dude speaking in Huttese.
Sure.
It's always interesting when human characters speak a different language in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the human actors. No matter what they are,
they all speak basic.
They usually speak English, and then all the aliens are all they speak all different kinds of languages. I guess a common language among gangsters and shitheads are Huttese, So they're at a bar, and they look like they're picking on some dude, this alien, and Mandalorian shows up,
Right.
and that's when he takes him down and everything. It's a cool little scene. You get to see him's little action.
And they quickly establish the Mandalorian as being like not heartless, but like all business.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to carbonite you.
Well, he saves he gets the guy who is the blue alien guy, who's played by Horatio Sands from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's fine. I mean, he's like, whatever. There's some funny things. Like, the show's really good, but there are a couple of actors in this series, that I'm just like, they're so weird for Star Wars that it takes you out of the show.
Yeah.
And you feel like you might be watching like a Saturday Night Live skit for a second. He kind of comes off like that. He doesn't sound like he's in Star Wars. Now, I know, like, he shouldn't, and I'm not saying he can't. It's weird. It's just how he comes off. He doesn't, like, seem like he's part of the show.
Right. He that's what he does to me, is he pulls the actor. There's another one. The person who runs the mechanics.
Yeah, episode 5. We'll get to that. And then there's like a waitress in episode 4 that I found very like.
Yeah.
Again, just I'm like, what am I watching? Like, you want Mad About You? Like this is like. I know it's a show, but like,
right.
Like,
and when
Paul
the
Reiser going to show up?
Paul Reiser.
But not like Paul Reiser from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser from Mad About You.
Right.
Like, it's funny. Like, waiting for a laugh track to come in.
Paul Reiser played the villain in like season 2 of Veronica Mars, which I thought was like
a great
choice. Yeah,
he was Steve Guttenberg.
Oh shoot, you're right, Steve Guttenberg. Yeah. Right.
Same guy. Who cares?
Basically, the same guy.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you quickly establish the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So
nonsense.
You find out too that guy was the bounty.
Yes.
The blue guy.
Right.
Like, he wasn't just saving him. He was the bounty.
No, he's retrieving him.
Yeah, and he's just happened to... He looks like he's a hero because he takes on these thug guys, these bad guys or whatever, and so it's perceived, but no, he's the bounty hunter.
Right.
And he has a ship. What's the ship called?
Oh, the Ravenclaw, is it? Or the... That's a Harry Potter thing.
The Razor Crest.
Yes.
Which kind of looks like...
Looks like the Boba Fett Slave 1.
Nah, it looks more like a female organ.
Oh, yeah. It also looks like some fallopian tubes.
Doesn't it?
It does a little bit,
It does. It's really dark. But it makes sense with Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
A maternal,
right. It's like a traveling womb.
It's a traveling womb for Baby Yoda. Okay, so he brings him into a ship, and it's kind of cool. You get to see him. And this guy who he brings into the ship clearly is like the Horatio Sands character. He seems like this nice guy, but there's a reason why this guy has a bounty. He's got to pull some shit. So he's like saying he has to go to the bathroom. I guess like his race like goes like once a year. So I thought that was kind of funny. But the best part is he makes a. It's funny because Mandalorian has a weapon that he uses that is what Boba Fett used in the original Star Wars Holiday Special cartoon that introduced Boba Fett.
Right.
He had a weapon that looked exactly like Mando, the thing that blows up people.
Yeah.
He had that weapon, and then that guy says that he hopes to get to a place, see his family for Life Day.
Right, yeah.
Which was really funny.
I remember that.
2 holiday special references
right off the bat.
in a minute. Because as they're getting onto the ship, that's the thing, you learn a lot about the Mandalorian within like the first couple minutes, because he needs a taxi to get to his ship where he is. I don't know why he parked so far away. Can't he just park in front of the bar?
Maybe he didn't want. Maybe he didn't want to tip people off.
Sneak in. I guess sure. And like this, like it kind of looks like Luke's land speeder, and it's piloted by like an R2 unit.
Right.
And he's like, "No droids, get it out of here." And it just sounds like, okay, this is just typical Star Wars droid racism, like from the first.
The original series had a lot of...
It just continues, but you're learning about the Mandalorian, and it's like, no, there's a reason why he doesn't like droids.
Yes.
And then that's when the guy I talked about before, the hero of the Star Wars universe, Brian Posehn, shows up and says, "Hey, you need a ride?" Saves the Mandalorian's life.
Yeah. Well...
Brings him to the ship. Without Brian Posehn, there is no Baby Yoda.
There's no series,
There's no Baby Yoda. There's nothing. Brian Posehn drops him off, says, "Gotta get out of here, we gotta go."
Right.
And then he gets eaten. He sacrifices himself. He gets eaten by a space walrus snake.
Right. That was a weird thing, yeah.
So that was it for him. And then they get on the ship, and then, like I said, the guy is like looking around. He sees his weapon. He has like this carbon freezing chamber, and that's when like the Mandalorian like. That's how the intro ends. It's like he just like, yeah, you're a douchebag. Get in there, and he like turns him into an ice cube.
And then
a brick.
And then you realize he like files them on a bookshelf basically with multiple.
Yeah, he has multiple. So when he lands to meet Carl Weathers on what's the name of the planet? I don't know. We're not gonna look this shit up.
Right.
Go watch the show.
He's unloading them.
Yeah, he's unloading like money. He has like 4 carbon freezed. And again, it looks like Boba Fett.
Oh yeah,
but it's a standard. If you watch Clone Wars, you would see like it wasn't just Empire Strikes Back that. Han Solo was like carbonated. Carbonated Han Solo. He turns into a soda.
They put a cap on him.
It's like that scene from Willy Wonka when the kids are burping.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, it's so a lot happens there, and then you meet Carl Weathers.
Yeah,
and Carl Weathers, I thought he was great, and
I like the way he talks on the show. It's so like
theatrical.
Yeah, it's very theatrical, but it works for the show.
It does,
and that's what I mean. The difference of like. You get these like actors that come in and they don't have like these big parts, but they just stand out and not in a good way. It just it's like the tone, or they don't feel like they're part of the Star Wars universe.
No, but this what is
Carl Weathers? I'm looking up the names. You can keep talking.
Yeah, Carl Weathers. He's a great actor. I like him a lot. He was great in Rocky. And he was like a former football player and stuff. I mean, he's so...
Predator?
Yep, Predator.
Action Jackson?
Yep,
Arrested Development? Do you remember Arrested Development with him on it?
Right.
He's so good in that. Hey, don't throw away that bone. Turn that into a stew.
So he could have been really bad in this, but he was great.
No, he's a great actor.
He's a great actor. But I'm just saying,
Grief Karga.
That's it.
He's like the leader of the guild.
The Bounty Hunters Guild.
Or like one of the main guys. He's basically the Bounty Hunter Guild, and I mean, he's the guy who just gets jobs for people.
Yeah.
And he takes a cut.
And he's like a... I don't want to say he's like a... But he's got like some pull. I mean,
Well, yeah, he's just like any person who can acquire jobs and has knowledge of stuff. Of course, he has a pull. Well, he obviously knows people. And
Carl Weathers could have tanked this in the sense that it could have been like, I'm not watching a character on the show, I'm watching Carl Weathers. Because Carl Weathers brings like this impressive resume with him, but he fits in seamlessly.
Yeah, it's fine. I wasn't worried about him being in. I know what you mean, but it's not like when Clint Howard shows up in Solo, and you're like, okay, right. Ron Howard directed most of the Solo. Here comes the Clint Howard scene. You know, it's like let's all. And then when I went to see Solo, I'm like, when's the Clint Howard scene show up? And Clint Howard showed up. I hope Clint Howard shows up in The Mandalorian.
Hey. Well, and so that sets into motion the plot for the whole series up to this point.
Well, yeah, he's looking for work, and and Grief, I guess it's his name. I don't know how else you say it.
Sure.
I
think it's
good Grief. It's Charlie Brown. Reference.
Well, he sends him on this.
He says like, "Yeah, I mean, jobs for me," and he has like, "I have a secret one."
Right.
And he's like, "There's no code for it.
Yeah.
There's no chip.
There's no chip or what is it? Disc?
A disc that has like a little hologram. They're like
a wedge.
And they say something like the asset's 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's obviously some secret shit, and you see people looking around.
Right.
So this is obviously like, oh, this is a big gig.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
we're not recap the whole fucking show.
Exactly. I was going to say we'll cut to the chase on this, and then we'll talk about the episode in general.
He goes, and that's the scene after he meets with Grief. He then goes to meet Werner Herzog's character, who obviously is like he's called the Client. That's his name.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I know he has a name. I'm just looking at IMDb now.
Right.
I don't remember his name in it. We'll just call him Werner Herzog.
Sure.
He obviously is an Imperial or an ex-Imperial, and he's surrounded by stormtroopers.
He's basically a Nazi. He's like Dr. Strangelove or something.
But he's wearing the Imperial symbol around his neck. I love the stormtroopers were there because, again, Mandalorian takes place like, 5 or 6 years after the
Fall of the Empire.
Return of Jedi, So I love the stormtroopers are all like dirty.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, and, he's talking about, we need to bring the natural order of things.
It's weird that you mentioned this, too. Like, who's like, why are the stormtroopers still wearing stormtrooper outfits? You know what I mean? Like,
it's Star Wars.
I know it's Star Wars, but, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's... I get the impression that this planet, and we forget the planet's name, but this planet is in that weird area where the New Republic they don't have a handle on everything.
Yeah.
They have a handle on the core planets.
Yeah.
This is probably
on
taking...
the peripheral.
Right.
Not on the Outer Rim or...
Not where the Emperor's
kind
building his Star
Kind of like a
Destroyers.
Tatooine...
It's in that gray area where, like, there are still... you ever see that movie, The Outlaw Josie Wales, with Clint Eastwood, like a million years ago?
No.
It was basically post-Civil War, and it was like, there were parts... It wasn't like the Civil War was over, and then...
Yeah, there's still douchebags wearing Confederate soldier uniforms and shit.
So...
Still are today.
Oh, yeah, right. I guess...
I'm not shocked that there would be people that they would have guys in stormtrooper outfits. I mean...
And it's armor. I mean,
it's
functional
armor. It's like... Yeah, that stuff works. I mean, the helmets have, like, communications.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's when he learns the scene, and that's where he gets more information about the job from him.
Right.
And obviously there's something up. They want that job, so then he goes to another. I guess is it the same planet? Is it on the same planet?
I thought it was.
I thought it was just a different part of the planet.
Sure.
And that's when he goes to like get the asset. And you meet IG-11 shows up, and he does not like robots.
No.
IG-11 is voiced by Taika Waititi.
Waititi, yes. Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yes.
That's
no.
His name, right? That's his name?
No. Taika Waititi.
Let's call him Titicaca.
No, that's a place in Venezuela or something.
I thought that was just something we would say in elementary school.
No, that's an actual place. When I taught history, there was some important thing that happened there.
In Titicaca?
And once a year, I had to say Lake Titicaca.
And did you get giggles?
Oh, man. I really played it up, too, though.
You're like, wait for it?
Yeah.
Wait for it?
Well, there was also, like, this famous Chinese poet called Dafa, which was, like...
Is that a joke?
No.
Okay,
well,
that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's D-A, like, F-U. And, like... You could play it up, so you'd be like, the fuck? You know, it was very fun.
Right.
But, so you find out that IG-11 is going after this asset.
Yeah, it's an IG droid.
Right.
They're assassin droids.
Yes.
Like, and it's cool because, again, it's like, IG-88 is the one from Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, they make different models of it. But he's just a coat rack. You've never seen anything with it. The only thing I remember when I was younger, like playing Shadows of the Empire, was like the first time I really got to see that droid in action. And he's like, he spins around, shoots, and he was like a real threat. It was really cool to see that. Because again, he's just a fucking coat rack in Empire Strikes Back.
He just stands there.
Just looked cool. The action figure looked cool. Didn't do shit. Did literally nothing.
Yeah, he came with a blaster.
Just standing there.
Right.
I think his head might have swiveled a little bit.
I remember. Yeah, I had the action figure. But yeah, in this he's like a kick-ass, like multifunctional.
Yeah, he spins around. It's like like hundreds of different possibilities.
Well, you could see why he'd be so effective. You know, because he's got this 360
rotations, like sensors all around his head, so he could obviously see targets everywhere. I just like though every time they are getting attacked. What were they being attacked by though? Like that's an interesting thing. Is like okay, so you get this asset, which is obviously Baby Yoda, as it's revealed in the end. But they never really talked about on the show at all.
Yeah, who had him?
Who had him, and why did they have him? Like obviously, we are given hints of why ex-Imperial officers or whatever it is left of the Empire, or the Moths or whatever, that they had an interest in it. We don't know why. Everyone makes allusions to Episode 9 with the Emperor being in it.
Yep.
I have a feeling that they're going to stay. That it's going to go off on its own thing, and it's not going to lead to anything to do with Episode 9.
I tend to agree.
The show takes place like 25 or 27 years, Earth years before the prequels start. I mean, they're not prequels, before the sequel series starts. That they don't have to be beholden to that series. They can make it its own thing, and I kind of hope they do. I mean, I don't want them to like totally disregard it.
No.
And be like, because some assholes didn't like it, or some people, or a lot of people didn't like it. You know, I'm not saying I want to take that back. There are just some people that hate those movies for really dumb reasons, while there's a lot of other reasons why people don't like the movies.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they
listen to our other episodes. We go into more details about that.
Well, you that is true. That's never really explained, but like IG-11 and the Mandalorian kind of form a tentative
team to like take down this small army of these aliens. I don't know what species they were supposed to be. I thought they were like the Bosk species, but they weren't. He does fight some of those. They're called like, I forgot what they're whatever Bosk. Well, I forgot the species.
Right.
And supposedly they come from Kashyyyk also.
Oh, okay.
They're like the Wookiees and the Bosk. They have like
they have bad blood.
Yeah, bad blood.
All right.
Like which is be kind of cool to watch.
Yeah. that would have been a series I'd pitch.
Because Chewbacca does show up in the Clone Wars series,
right?
And it's kind of cool because he was like being held captive by a bunch of like
fucking Bosks.
Bosks. There's an actual name for them. We're just gonna call them Bosks because we're not gonna look it up while we're talking.
Well, they team up and they find.
They eventually, the whole time, it's like IG-11's like, well, my manufacturer says if I can't get caught, so I'm just going to blow up. And he's like, no, don't blow up yet. And he keeps IG-11's like, I'm going to blow, like, keeps like 2 or 3 times says he's going to self-destruct.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't self-destruct.
Right.
Not yet, I need you.
And it's funny, like, they did a good job of, like, weaving in humor. I mean, it felt very natural. Right. Like, they weren't trying to be funny.
One of the things we did miss, though, talking. We're not going to recap all the episodes, but I feel like with the pilot, they introduced lots of stuff.
Right.
You do get a small part when he goes to, like, I guess on the same planet that they're on, there's a small faction of Mandalorians, like, living in the sewers or whatever, and that's when you meet the armory. I like her outfit, because it's interesting. She's got, like, a helmet that is like a Mandalorian, but it also looks like a knight, and it also
it's very cool.
Make it a little more feminine, like the shaping.
Yes,
but it looks more like a knight's helmet and less like a Mandalorian, like Boba Fett type helmet or Jango Fett.
Well, you could tell it was less geared towards battle and more geared towards
pageantry,
something like that. Yeah, it was a different look.
Even though you find out she can kick ass.
She can kick ass.
Yeah. So you learn a little bit about them, and like because he gets some armor, he gets a piece of armor. They call it like Bastille steel or something.
There's a name for it. It's a certain type of steel.
We're gonna look that up in between when I go to the bathroom in a little bit.
But it's very rare, and like the Empire had some. There's a whole.
Some of their money is made out of like. Some of their credits, Imperial credits, are made out of the same metal.
And it's stamped with the Empire's symbol. But it leads
Beskar?
to...
No. I think that's the thing he fights in in episode 2, that rhino monster.
The Mudhorn.
Mudhorn.
Yeah. Well...
All right, whatever.
You come to the point...
You meet them before he goes on his little adventure with IG-11.
Yeah.
So when they finally wipe out the army, they go in there and they see like a little pod.
Right.
And you see like the little back of the head, and little ears, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then he goes, that thing's 50 years old. And then like the IG-11 goes, species age differently.
Yeah.
And then you see Baby Yoda. And you're like,
I remember seeing that and just, I think I was texting you when I saw it. Yeah, right?
That's some Gremlins.
It was like so awesome, and a lot happens within a very short period of time.
So he shoots IG-11 in the head.
Well, IG-11
was going to kill him.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to take him in, the dead body. And he's like, no, don't, wait. And then he has like the flashback to like him as a kid and his parents obviously getting attacked. A lot of people think this takes place around the time, it's called The Purge.
Yes.
It's after the Empire, right after but basically after Order 66.
Yeah.
And after, Obi-Wan got the high ground.
Right, yeah.
Right after Obi-Wan got the high ground, there's this thing called The Purge.
Yep.
But not the TV show or the movie.
No.
The Purge.
There's some similarities.
Well, they call it The Purge, where basically this was just the Empire's way of going, basically, yeah, we're taking over, motherfuckers.
Right.
And they came in, just like wiped out any factions, wiped out any groups. It's kind of funny because people, again, there's another Star Wars reference, Star Wars Holiday Special reference. People think, because he's wearing, his parents and him as a kid are wearing these robes.
Okay.
And they said that those robes look like the robes that the Chewbacca and the Wookiees wear.
I didn't catch this at all.
In the Life Day. Well, they show it throughout the episodes that, they're wearing like...
Yeah.
He's not wearing like shirt and pants. He's wearing like this
reddish... a gown or something.
Yeah. And they said it looks kind of like...
Oh, that's funny.
The Life Day robes that the Wookiees wear, which is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I love it. I think that's great. They just... The show just like confirms...
right.
Maybe we'll be lucky and Lumpy will show up from the holiday special.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it.
You see IG-88 about to kill...
IG-11.
I'm sorry, IG-11
Voiced by Titty Cocker.
About to kill the Baby Yoda.
Yep.
And the Mandalorian just straight out kills...
Well, you just see... because he's having the flashback of him... Something happened to him. Obviously, something happens to him with his parents and... You see him being put in a bunker or something, and he's kind of he's also as a little kid,
right? Same motion,
looking for his hand reaching out, just like the way Baby Yoda's hand reaches out. So then you don't see him do it, but then you see the IG-11 on the floor with a hole through his head.
Yeah, and
there were other things that we didn't.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's you meet the Ugnaught in this one,
right?
Queel.
Nick Nolte.
And that's when, Nick Nolte, who's never looked better.
No, he looks
great.
Right. It's like he had a cleanse,
that's
a
him,
juice
right?
cleanse, right?
Yeah,
no makeup.
It's basically they just, he got he got arrested again.
Yep.
It's like that photo of him.
Yeah.
And they just said, hey, you want to show up to work?
And he plays the whole thing kind of like in a Dorf on Golf stance. He's like...
No, that's not what I
think it's a practical effect.
He just does the voice of Keel.
Right. I remember this one time when
you see
he leans back
and he leans forward, and it kind of took me out of the show.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm surprised that Disney went with this. I didn't think they would do this.
Right.
But they did.
But then you see that use the dwarf, Nick. And it's all right. But here's
not dwarf, but dwarf. DORF. Not Steven Dorff either.
There was a bunch of stuff. Look, the first episode did a million things it needed to do, but I thought the coolest thing about it for me was
it set everything up.
And also, you at the very beginning, you see the Mandalorian is this kind of hard-nosed, jaded, cynical, get the job done.
He's just a bounty hunter.
But then, episode 1, you meet him when he changes.
There's obviously more to him, and
there's more to him.
Past,
but normally you would see, if you think of the hero arc of all these characters in the Star Wars universe that we're used to, Luke doesn't really become the Luke we know and love until midway through Star Wars, and Han Solo takes some time. He takes
until the end of Star Wars when he's like, I got it in, kid.
Yeah,
do it now. That's the line he says, right?
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
let's blow this thing and go home.
Let's shoot that big old bugger.
But then even in the beginning of episode 5's Empire Strikes Back, he's still kind of scoundrelly or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but we meet the Mandalorian... Episode 1, he's already kind of redeemed himself to some extent.
You see him, like I said, you don't know much about him because he wears a mask through 99% of the whole show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You only see his face for a second in episode 8. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah.
Watch the whole series. So I think we're perceive him because he wears his mask. You don't see his face,
right?
And you don't see, he doesn't speak a lot in the first episode. And he's obviously dealing with the underworld and bounty hunter. And, it could be a pretty, your job is to take people in regardless of if they're innocent or not.
But it's
you're not there to judge. You're there to make money off the arrest of people. And so I don't think it's like Han Solo. I don't know. I mean, it was only the first episode. I know what you're saying.
But it's in so many shows or movies or whatever, we're watching the character change, and we're well, how is this character changing? But in this one,
we're like kills people.
Oh yeah.
Throughout the series,
he does continue to change,
and he doesn't. You know, this episode ends with him with the baby, and he hates robots. So it's almost like any chance to kill a fucking droid.
That's true.
And obviously there was something up with this little kid, and also. He could have been thinking at the moment too, like, well, once a little kid, and he's thinking of himself as a little kid. I'm sure there's more money if the kid's alive.
Could have been the Force. Yoda could have been
hey,
Baby Yoda. Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm so cute. Look at me.
Well, you've
big
had
old
this,
eyes and big goofy.
You've had
ears.
this theory, and we'll get into it more later, that Baby Yoda is older and wiser.
But they don't. Yeah, I don't think he's like as young as we think he is. I mean, Yoda's are small to begin with, and I don't think he is like. It's funny. I feel like when they first introduced him in the first episode, he seems like that's a baby.
It's a baby, yeah.
But in episode 2, he starts walking around and. Around episode 3 or 4, he can
hold a cup. Yeah,
he can clearly drink soup.
Right,
it's that gift.
Adorably
that everybody shares. Shows that he can drink soup, and he can do it very well.
Right.
And he could pilot a ship a little bit. Not very good.
Right. If you give him a little booster, put a couple phone books on the seat.
Yep. But he there's more to him than that. He doesn't speak in the series, which is fine. It's like a lot of people make comparisons like Lone Wolf and Cub.
Sure.
But my theory is that, because if you go by like Yoda's age and everything, supposedly, he's like over 900 and he's been teaching Jedi since he was like over 100. So that means like he's been a Jedi obviously before that.
Right.
Baby Yoda's 50. I'm thinking he's like a 5-year-old kid or something mentally. It's hard to gauge. It's a different alien race.
Yeah.
He's 50 fucking years old. I don't know.
Yeah.
They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's not real.
Well, I'll tell you, they ended. Now I know this went full to season.
I don't want to recap every episode. This is one of the longest podcasts.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I know that Disney bought a whole season of this show, but if this were back in the old days where you made one pilot episode and then shopped it around...
Well, I think they made the pilot first. Well, before they agreed on the show.
Oh, really? Then mission accomplished because...
Yeah, I don't think they had to make that pilot first. They still had to, like, sell it to the...
it was
Disney
a great
gave
one.
them the budget and everything, but they still had to make a pilot. It's like the same thing with, like, HBO. Game of Thrones, I think.
Right.
I don't even know if they even made the episode. Did they even make that episode?
I have no idea.
Okay, Game of Thrones first, they made a pilot, and they made them remake the pilot. So there is an existing pilot that came before it with different actors and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then there was the one we saw, which is still the pilot.
Lindsay Lohan as Caitlin Stark?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. It was weird. They got the guy from King of Queens was in it.
Yeah. And they have who was that? Kevin something? What is the guy's name?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he'd be Ned Stark.
Yeah. So, and I think there was a new one that supposedly had Naomi Watts in it, and I don't know if the show was completed, the pilot, but HBO backed out on it.
Oh.
So they still make pilots.
I guess so.
They still have to sell it to That's why I always I rarely judge a show on a pilot. Because I always feel like the job of the pilot is not just for the audience, but it's also to get the studio to make it. It's a weird. It's always, I always tell people, like, pilots are weird. They just are. Like, they have to introduce characters, and they got to tell as much of a complete story and get as much by not sharing too much.
Yeah,
and they got to end it on a hook.
Right.
And Baby Yoda is the hook.
It's the hook.
What I liked about it too, and what I like about this series. Because I don't want to recap every fucking episode. What I love about this series is everyone always makes these complaints and says that Star Wars it's too it relies too much on nostalgia, which I think is a ridiculous thing to say because again, it's like when I watch Star Trek, I want to see Star Trek shit.
Right.
it's not an attack on Star Trek. It's not saying like, oh, they're not coming up with new stuff all the time.
It's
but
just
I
that's
still
what I want to
expect
see. Yeah.
phasers. I still expect those
You want the history,
elements.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I see stormtroopers in Star Wars, but okay, it's part of the Star Wars universe.
Well, it's like saying, like, I want to celebrate Christmas, but not with a tree or presents.
Or not Santa.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
no Santa. I mean, and fuck candy canes. I mean, that's just part of it. That's part of what you're...
So I always find it really weird. It's like, well, why do you want to watch them? It's like, well, I want Star Wars to be completely new. And I'm like,
well, then
okay,
watch something
well
else.
then...
Yeah, watch Battlestar Galactica.
Which is like Star Wars without the Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, it's a weird... I know what they're saying. Like, it's like a comment people made about Force Awakens. It was too much like, well, I guess. But at the same time, you know, or Rogue One was like too Star Warsy because, like, look, here's an ATSD. I'm like, well, it's...
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
It took place in the same time as the Star Wars movies. So, of course, you're going to see the same shit. If anything, the thing I didn't like about Rogue One was like, okay, we're going to have these black shock trooper, like these like SEAL Team 6 type stormtroopers that are only in Rogue One, but
you never see
why would you not? I mean, I know the movie came out 30 years after Return of the Jedi did, but like, you have this like amazing infantry of arm. Why would you not use them?
Yeah, they seem pretty effective.
Or they have these sick droids, the Imperial droid that's in Rogue One. Like, why didn't that show up in Empire Strikes Back and like beat the shit out of Chewbacca?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a stupid argument to make. I mean, I get it. It's just like it's new special effects. You got to make new characters, but like, of course, an ATST is going to show up in Rogue One, or ATST is going to show up in Mandalorian,
or X-wings.
But what I like about this show, what it does is a lot of people think that Star Wars can't come up with something else if it doesn't involve the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
And what I like about this show is that it shows that no, it doesn't need the Skywalkers. Yes, it still has rebels. I mean, that's like saying like we know Star Trek can exist without Captain Kirk and Leonard and Spock.
Of course.
It's been proven.
Yeah.
We can watch Star Trek and enjoy.
Oh yeah.
You know, we got
Deep Space Nine. You had Voyager. You had Reading Rainbow.
The Reading Rainbow guy and Professor X and Alf. Which I thought was great. He did a season.
Yeah.
Hey, what am I doing here?
Always searching the Enterprise for cats and stuff.
Hey, I'm looking for pussy.
Oh, no.
And I'm looking for cats.
Well, it did do all of those things.
But like, so I always found it such a weird comment to make. I'm like, I don't want Star Wars, but I mean, I get it. Like, we don't want everything to be Darth Vader.
You don't want it recycled. But
we don't want Luke. We don't want. I mean, we do want that. We want more of that, but we don't want everything to be a hole into it.
Right.
But like, stormtroopers are a thing that's in
They're
the Star Wars
in
universe.
That universe. Yeah.
There's like, it's not a. Yeah, it's not. It's a weird comment. But to see what I liked about the Baby Yoda thing was I don't feel like it falls under that because it's like Yoda. It's like we know who Yoda is.
Right.
But he's such a mysterious character in a way.
Yeah, we really don't know a ton about him.
Like,
even though
in
he's
the prequels, he's like the guy, he's like the Gryffindor. Not the Gryffindor, what's his name? With the old wizard.
You're talking about...
Gandalf. Not Gandalf. The fucking wizard guy. Dumbledore. He's like the Dumbledore of the Jedi.
Yeah, basically.
Yoda. And, you know, and you get to know him a little bit, and you see him in action. You see he can flip around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's pretty spry.
Yeah. But, you know, you learn about, you know, there's a lot of tricks up their sleeves, but you don't know any, like, there's no species. George Lucas said he said it himself, too, that Yoda there's no species name. Like, they made a mistake, and there was another Yoda in episode 1. Her name was Yaddle.
Oh, okay.
Which is a stupid name.
Right.
Because it's like... Yeah. Everyone's name, something with a Y and a D in the Star Wars, in the Yoda. What's her name? Yeg, Yabert, Jonathan, Yodathan.
Right, that's good. Yeah.
Yoderick.
Alas, poor Yoderick.
Yoka Tiki.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about seeing the Baby Yoda, whatever its name it's going to be, right now it's fucking Baby Yoda. Sorry, guys. I know
Baby
someone
Yoda.
I drew a picture of Baby Yoda and someone put a comment like, technically it's not Baby Yoda. I'm like,
you know
what? We don't know what the fuck it is. It's a Baby Yoda. It's a little green thing. It looks like Yoda. It's a baby. We're going to call it that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to call it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But what I like about it is I don't feel like Baby Yoda showing up is Mandalorian relying on
oh, no. It can
something
still
from
be,
the old
right.
trilogy as a crutch.
It can still be independent.
It adds almost like a mystery. What I like also about the series is that no one really knows what a Jedi is.
Oh yeah, they're pretty oblivious to the whole thing.
They find out what a Jedi is from the
armor.
The armor.
Yeah. She
says that like on like space sorcerers because the Mandalorians had issues with the Jedis.
Yeah.
That's in the Clone Wars series.
Right.
Death Watch and everything had issues with Obi-Wan and the Jedis during the Clone Wars. So there's a history with the Jedis and Mandalorians, so they know about it. But it makes sense that this galaxy would be completely clueless. And this is where I think Mandalorian succeeds over the sequel series. Episode 7. Episode 7, 8, or 9. The one thing that kind of bothered me about episode 7, there's a couple of things that I always thought were kind of stupid. And I know people find all kinds of things that are stupid in it, but the fact that Rey knew what a Jedi was.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Knew who Luke was. And Finn referred to the war hero, Han Solo.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Okay, so I'll tell you why it made no sense. So you had Rey, who's at a young age is abandoned on Jakku, is a junk planet.
Right.
Yeah, it's surrounded by Imperial, but to somebody who has no fucking clue or no proper education, they're just like big, blown up ship, big vehicles. I'm living inside of an AT-AT. I don't know what the fuck that is. I have no clue. Why the fuck would she know what Luke Skywalker is or know what a Jedi is?
Yeah,
maybe she would have heard stories about guys
so.
who could lift rocks with, or had lightsabers. Like you could have like stories passed down about these people. And then Finn, who at a young age is kidnapped by the First Order, brainwashed, becomes a stormtrooper. They wouldn't teach him that Han Solo was a war chief?
Yeah,
that'd be like if you went to like school and they said they referred to Osama bin Laden as the hero, as like the war hero, Osama bin Laden, like because the rebellion would be the terrorist, to the empire.
It is screwy. It is. Screwy.
It's like it's a weird thing because it was almost like they had to like. It was almost like they had to. They were speaking to the audience or something. Like, we know what it is, but it's like, but Rey could have been completely ignorant and still become a Jedi. She could have found out, regardless, what Jedis were. She didn't need to know what it was. Finn didn't need to know what Han was. Or anything. Didn't know anything to do with these people.
It would have been better had they not.
If they knew none of it. And that's what I like about The Mandalorian is that, like, even, what's her name? Gina Carano's character.
Yeah, I've heard a character. Right, yeah, Cara
who is a rebel shock trooper, has no fucking clue what when they're arm wrestling and her and the Mandalorian are like fucking around episode 7 and then the Baby Yoda sees them and she thinks that she's beating him up and he starts force choking her and he's like, what the fuck's he doing?
Right.
And that's when that Queel guy is like, oh, I've kind of heard stories about these people, but like she's a shock trooper for the rebellion, but she doesn't have a fucking clue what a Jedi is, and that's what Luke, and it makes sense. It
does.
Like,
it's a big galaxy.
It's a huge galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about this. It's like, why would we like? There's people who don't know what Mormons are.
Oh yeah.
If it's a religion, and Jedi is a religion or whatever it is, there's people who don't know what. They may know what Christian is, but they don't know that it's like 1,000 different sects of it.
Right.
Or even they might not even know what a Jewish person is, and let alone all the different versions of Judaism or Muslims.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It makes, and we're just on Earth, so it makes sense that like these people would be complete. That's what I love about the series is that
it's realistic.
It's building its own. Well,
no, I mean it's building realistic its own within the context of.
It's like you can make the argument and say that like is a nostalgia-based show. Okay, yeah, the Stormtroopers in it. So yeah, that's what I like about the show is that it's showing that it's built, like, yes, it takes place in the Star Wars universe, but we're getting to know all these characters, the Mandalorian, learning more about the Mandalorians, the Bounty Hunters Guild, there's elements of the Empire left, we're starting to learn a little bit about the universe after Return of the Jedi, which... in the small doses we get a better idea of what the universe is like than we did in the fucking new series. It's like, okay, again, a failure from 7, 8, 9. It's like 7 kind of was dropping hints. 8 just ignored all that, except for the Casino Planet. He wanted to talk about, like, I don't know, people profiting off of war or something, which was like such a general... That could have been in any movie. It could have been it could have been in anything. And then 9, it was just like, oh shit. So they couldn't even get into it. They were like, we just need to make a movie. We gotta make a fun. We need to make a fun Star Wars movie. Let's just forget about the state of the galaxy.
Right.
So I think this is where the Mandalorian could come in and like flesh out the universe post.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And get a better idea. And it might do what the Clone Wars did for the prequels series, where it helps improve those movies.
Yes, it gives it some depth and context.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why, if I was Disney, I would not make a fucking Star Wars movie for at least 10 years.
Right.
Just focus on Disney Plus shows. And that would be such a draw for Disney Plus, because be like, you want Star Wars content?
This is it.
You gotta come here, motherfuckers, because you ain't gonna be seeing it in the theater. I mean, if you want to do like a special like run or something in the theater, but I just think they should just not make movies anymore.
I agree. I mean, like, for the foreseeable future.
They get so scrutinized. Like, everyone loves The Mandalorian. And I'll get into this other funny thing. Everyone loves The Mandalorian. Right. All these fucking YouTube douchebags that, like, go on about SJWs, they don't know what to say about The Mandalorian. Yeah. Because, regardless of what you thought about The Last Jedi, it's very easy to criticize it, and it's very easy for some douchebags to come in and start tricking people into some, bad politic thing, because, Holdo was, SJW and, whatever bullshit they were saying about Last Jedi. They can't do that with The Mandalorian.
No.
And the thing is, there's different elements in Mandalorian. You got Cara Dune's a badass. You got all these different characters, and maybe it's just done better, or maybe it's not so lame the way it's done in the movies, where it's just like they're just characters. They don't have to be bold state. Like, look, like the camera's pointing at, like, look, we're woke. They don't need to like make a big deal about it. It's just like,
well, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I think with The Mandalorian, I mean, on one hand, it's a classic kind of American, like a cowboy story.
Yeah, it's a Western, and then it's got elements of, like, with Baby Yoda servicing, it's like, they say it's, well, what is it? Crap. What's that Japanese one? With the
Seven
baby?
Samurai?
No, the Samurai and the Baby.
I
had the name. I totally forgot it. Lone Wolf and Cub.
Right.
Like, it borrowed, like, obviously it's influenced by things, and, like, the guy, he has the baby, and the funny thing is that I was, like, in the end of the series, like, with Carl Weathers' character.
Yeah.
He was like, you'll protect that kid.
Right.
Maybe it'll even protect
Yeah, that was...
Baby Yoda's like, yeah, you know that.
Right, that was a little cheesy.
Because I could stop shit.
Got magic hands.
I got magic hands. I could do shit.
Well,
once in a while, he gets tuckered out. Which is good, because it shows, like, he's like an Ex Machina type character. If you use him too much, it kind of sucks. And then you can't, like...
Well, they do that well. Like, even the Avengers did that with the Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk was an Ex Machina character.
Right.
So why was everyone got mad the Hulk wasn't in Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, they came up with some bullshit. He didn't want to be used, but if he was in the movie, he probably would have stopped Thanos from snapping his finger.
It just, I mean, you wouldn't have... You need that tension, that conflict.
And Ex Machina characters. You can't... it's like the joke they said, too, about Scarlet Witch in Endgame. They said they actually, I read, now it's WandaVision, they all stuck, they said, they were like, who's the most powerful character right now in the Marvel Universe? And they said it's probably actually Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I could see
because Thanos, when she got to him, and he's like, I don't even know you, and she just started crushing him.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when he said, rain hell down, or whatever.
Right.
That's when the ships started, because he knew that she could fucking kill him right there.
Right.
And that's when he was like, unleash, send everything down, and the guy was like, well, kill our people. And he's like, I don't care, this bitch will kill me. And I thought that was cool, but again, ex-machina character. You gotta use these characters gingerly. It's like, even like the Hulk, where in Endgame, he's not, he's Banner Hulk, so he's like more reserved. He's not gonna like freak out and smash things on, like go crazy like he did in Avengers. So Baby Yoda is a perfect type of character, because he could do things where he could save him from
Well,
the
and
situation.
he's also a baby, so he's not like...
Right.
Like
but he gets tuckered out.
Yes.
So he can get you out of one situation, but it's going to be a while, and he's not going to be able to get you out of another one.
Well, and it's also, there's a scene, and we'll talk about this episode later, but like there's a scene where he misunderstood what was going on.
I think he also was tuckered out still.
Yeah.
It's a combination, but that scene is really funny.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about these in order, but like in the end of episode 8, when you're introduced to the Moff.
Right.
Moff Gideon.
Yes.
He has this TIE fighter, and he shows up, and Carl Weathers' character's like, wave the magic hands.
Right.
And the baby just waves back at him. But I also think he might have been trying to use the Force too.
I was talking about the scene where they were arm wrestling, and
he
Baby Yoda.
He but he used the Force there.
Right.
But there is that scene, and people use it as a gif too, where Baby Yoda's like waving.
Yeah.
But it kind of looked like that, but it could also just be like, you know what, he's got to kill himself. So that's what I love about the show is like, and also what I love about the show is that it is so popular that it can't be weaponized.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, like that's how these guys, like a lot of these like right wing geek guys, they try to use politics, or like the Ben Shapiro's and stuff. They try to weaponize it. Like I said, man, I watch that review of Last Jedi by fucking the Grand Boobah, Alex Jones, and then watch Ben Shapiro, and like everyone got their marching orders and started using it, and you start seeing people trashing Star Wars.
But you're right. This one is kind of inured against that. Like,
it's like, the one thing, the way these guys operate is they find the way a lot of these right wing guys operate when they want to get people to like fall into their bullshit. You find something that they don't like. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. You get something they don't like, and then you suck them in, and then all of a sudden they're like into phrenology. No, but it's not a joke. That's what they do.
That's it.
And they're using, and you're like, no, that's ridiculous. This is like some stupid Star Wars thing. It's like, no, but they use anything. Star Wars is culture. Star Wars is a property. There is a culture to it because it's a product, and you could use it with sports. You could use it with anything.
It was with holidays.
There's
a war on Christmas.
War on Christmas. War on Star Wars. Disney is trying to put an SJW. They're taking your Star Wars away. And that's what they use that, but then they try to suck you into them. Then all of a sudden now you're watching videos about like
fake moon landings.
No, not like I was gonna say like the Crusades and like you said, neo-Nazi shit, and then all of a sudden you're marching down Charlottesville screaming choose not the place. Right? No, I know people are like, oh, that's ridiculous, being ridiculous. I'm not. That's what they do. Yeah. They find something on the surface that people don't like. Some people didn't like Last Jedi. So you find something and you use that and you go, okay, well, I didn't like the way this character spoke to this character, and then you suck them in, and all of a sudden, a couple months after they watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and they start reading up. I mean, that's how everything is.
It is. It's sad.
They can't do that with Baby Yoda. They can't because everyone loves it. Yeah. Everyone likes the Mandalorian, so they're just like they don't know what to do. They can't. They got to go weaponize something else. They're trying to do it with like Rise of Skywalker, but Rise of Skywalker doesn't really have those elements that Last Jedi had that you can like. And it's being equally hated on by everybody.
Right, yeah. And it's funny because that's like a unifying force, but in the opposite sense,
Right. So, so what's funny about that, that's why I find The Mandalorian funny, because I'm just like, they hate the sequel series, but they cannot say shit about The Mandalorian because everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Even, is it perfect? No. I give it like a I'll give the whole entire series like an 8.8.
Oh,
or maybe a 9.
I'd give it like a 9. I'd give it at least a 9.
Yeah.
I look back like, okay, last year was a good year for TV. And there's a lot of good stuff on. And when I look at we were watching The Mandalorian and Watchmen around the same time.
Yeah, they were both airing around the same time.
Yeah. And Watchmen, I know, is intellectually a better show. And it's written...
It's a different show. I'm not going to let my kid watch The Watchmen.
No.
But we could watch Mandalorian all day.
But Mandalorian, I think, of all the shows I watched last year, and I watched a lot of them, Mandalorian was probably my favorite one.
Well, it's the first live-action Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Like, there's this rumor going around for years that Lucas had 50 scripts ready for some Star Wars TV show.
I remember
this was
hearing
years
that.
before this was like a couple years after Episode 3 came out.
Yeah.
When he said, we're not going to do a sequel series, but I have a live-action series in work.
Right.
And then when the Clone Wars came out, they're like, this is it? They're like, no, that's not it. I have a live-action series. And people were like, what? And they had 50 scripts sitting around.
Yes.
And I was like, bullshit. I don't believe it. And then I'm wondering, is The Mandalorian that at all? But I feel like it's its own thing. I don't think it's these 50 scripts that supposedly is sitting in Lucasfilm. Maybe they do. Maybe they've been playing this show a long time.
Way back in the day, hearing that he was developing a show about bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Now, this is...
Underworld.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a video game that was supposed to come out that got canceled again, part of the Disney, and people were, like, it looked sick. People were really looking for it. It was called, like, it was supposed to be like the Underworld in Coruscant.
Okay.
Like, and they touch on it in the Clone Wars. It was like one of the better episodes where Ahsoka goes down to like level 8. Because, like, the thing is about Coruscant, you have buildings that are like miles high.
Right, and the good stuff happens above the
obviously,
clouds.
Yeah. Of course, like in life.
Right, yes.
I mean, that's just the way it is. And the dregs and the underworld's all on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it goes even deeper, though, under the subway systems of Coruscant. And this game took place in that. And everyone was like, holy shit. Well, then fucking Disney came and canceled it. That'd be kind of cool if they bring that back, or maybe they touch on it. And
sure.
Mandalorian. Like, I feel like now they could do anything on the show. Like, they, obviously limited to budget, but they could go... they hint at, like, when he's looking for more jobs.
Right.
And Grief's like, here's one. He's a prince, and it was a Mon Calamari. And he's like, sea dunes. Right. It's so dramatic way he speaks. And I was like, cool, we're going to see, like, the Calamari planet. Or whatever.
And it's basically a red lobster.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. I guess I'll have some cheddar bay biscuits. Well, that's the only good thing about Red Lobster.
Those are so good.
They are delicious.
If we shift out of... Okay, we talked about the pilot episode in great detail, and I guess maybe we can jump...
Episode 2 is like... Now it's like, okay, you get introduced to Baby Yoda. And this is like one of my favorite episodes.
And it was called The Child.
It's kind of short. It's like the shortest of the episodes.
What was it, like 40-some minutes?
Not even.
Okay.
Like, most of the episodes clock in at like 35 minutes.
Yeah,
and the thing,
true.
that's one of the complaints people are having about the show is that they wish it was like a little longer. Like, I would say maybe my complaint, I think the first episode's a decent amount enough time. I feel like the last episode could have been a little longer.
Yeah,
Like the final battle or that
sure.
battle seems very truncated. There's a lot of lead up to it, but again, it's a TV show. You're not getting endgame special effects in this show. It's a show at the end of the day. I mean, at some point,
paced like a TV show.
At some point, Disney, if it is that big of a hit, Disney will put a couple extra more bucks.
Sure.
I'm sure season 2 is going to look slicker.
Yeah,
And season 1 had some slick looking episodes.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
I mean, again, it's all about the director too. You could see where there's a better director, the episode just looks better.
Yeah.
They don't need, throwing money at something is not the answer. There's directors who can make shit look good for $1 million. And then there's directors who you give them like $120 million and it doesn't look as good as that $1 million.
It's still going to be money.
It's like, a perfect example is like Terminator Genesis. So, yeah, episode 2, it begins right away. It's like a full-on Baby Yoda episode. So he's walking with... you just see the little paw and the little ears looking around. It's super adorable.
So curious.
And he's just like, again, obviously the hook in the episode with the little... But there's no emotional attachment yet.
No.
It kind of reverts back. It almost reverts back to like the cold bounty hunter.
Yeah.
This kid is still like he killed the robot. He wants to keep the kid alive, but in the end of the day, the kid is still an asset.
Well, you almost get the feeling like he acted on impulse, and now he doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah,
and he's maybe not sure.
Well,
he's glad
he is going
did
to bring this kid back.
Yeah,
he's not. He hasn't. It's by episode 3 is when he obviously really changes. I think 1 through 3 almost work as a good movie by itself. Episode 1 through 3 of The Mandalorian.
Right, that's true.
Work as a movie.
Yeah, it's the right.
There's a good first, middle, and act. I mean, like I said, the thing with the Jawas and everything. If that was in a movie, But with the 3, like if I would have made a movie with 1, 2, and 3, I would have kept the length the same, but I would have made episode 3 longer.
Yeah,
like it would be like 40 minutes for the first episode, 25 minutes for the Jawa shit, and everything, and then like an hour. Instead of just 40 minutes for episode 3. And that would be like my movie, The Mandalorian. Like, when you watch 1 to 3, it feels like a movie.
It does, because basically you have the story of him. He doesn't want the child killed.
Yep.
And then
that's when you learn the child there's more to this child.
Right.
Because the child saves him.
And then
he cashes in the child.
Yeah. And then he goes to...
and then he feels really bad.
Right, because the child clearly is like in distress and like looking to...
Well, also, he doesn't know what they're going to do with it.
Right.
He finds out like, well, what are you going to do with it? And Carl Weathers' character's like, I don't ask questions.
Right.
And it's like, that's not the answer he wants to hear.
No. And then he goes back and he like...
Well, let's go back to episode 2.
Yeah.
So he's still on the same planet. He gets attacked by the boss characters.
Yep.
They hurt him a little bit. There's a great scene, and again, part of the gifts. There's a great scene when he's sitting there trying to heal his wound. I guess he must have some Bacca tank shit or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And the little Baby Yoda thing. This is like where you start to see like, okay, there's more to this little thing than just him being cute in a little pod. He gets out and he's like reaching up. He's like, it's like super cute. And he's just like, what the fuck you doing? He just like picks it up, puts it back.
Yeah. And
it's kind of funny. And the Baby Yoda's just like, I just love some of the faces like it makes. Like when it's like worried or something. He's just like, I heard originally Baby Yoda was going to be played by the guy from Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
Wallace Shawn.
Oh,
the inconceivable guy.
Yeah, that would have been good. Did he just pass away?
No, he's still alive.
Is he still alive?
No, you can't kill that man.
He's
a national treasure. Yeah, he was originally supposed, but they decided to throw in a little puppet instead.
Right, I can see that.
Fine.
Like the choice.
I'll forgive them for that. The people like who would you want to have Baby Yoda? Who would voice Baby Yoda? I know people with Gilbert Gottfried. I'm just like,
I don't know about that.
I kind of hope now that I think about it, like I thought in the end of episode 8 they would have talked. I'm kind of glad it didn't in the end now.
I could see them giving voice to Baby Yoda like once Baby Yoda's arc is concluded. And we've talked about this not on the podcast so far, but the Baby Yoda is really kind of a MacGuffin. I mean, it's like if you like, it's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
It transforms him as a character.
Yeah.
It gives him. It directs. It's the driving force of the first season.
Right. It keeps the narrative moving.
Yeah.
It's the thing that needs resolving. It also happens to be adorable and charming and this and that, but it's like that's what it's functioning as, and eventually it's going to have to go away. They'll need a new MacGuffin.
It'll be part of it, and then they will have a MacGuffin together versus Baby Yoda just being a MacGuffin all the time.
Right.
Somebody wrote this thing like, "Oh, Baby Yoda sucks," and that that Mandalorian's really bad at his job because if he was a good bounty hunter, he wouldn't. And I was like, don't write TV. Right. No, I like that. What
there's a reason you're on the couch.
There's a reason why you're writing that on the website. Yeah. When I see Baby Yoda, I see these.
Yeah, right.
Double Baby Yodas, double these.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
triple these.
Those first 3 episodes would have been really good as a film. Have we ended?
Well, so episode 2. No, we didn't get close to it. So episode 2, he's like, like I said, he was healing himself. Yeah. And then I guess he sees his ship parked. And the fucking Jawas.
Right, and stripped it clean.
Yeah, this is like my favorite episode for a lot of reasons because again, it's like I always like the Jawas a lot, and I always like their vehicle a lot. The vehicle's only for like a second, but you see the Sandcrawler the whole fucking time in this episode.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, and I like the way the Jawas like operate the Sandcrawler because it's like there's the whole Sandcrawler is just filled with little windows for the Jawas to just peek their heads out of.
Yeah,
like random. You don't know when it's gonna open. It's just like these little like there's no windows. It's just like they just open up little holes and like a Jawa pops out. It's really funny, and. So he sees his ship destroyed. He's like he goes after them. He kills a couple of them, and they electrocute him, and he ends up on the side. And again, Baby Yoda looks like he's trying to help him. So he tries to start the ship, won't work. He goes back to that Keel guy, the other guy, Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte mugshot. Right. And that's when you learn a little more about him, and he helps him. Like, he's like
he negotiates. He serves as
and again, this is it. The only. You had an Ugnaught, a Jawa, a Baby Yoda, and a guy who kind of looks like Boba Fett in one scene together. I don't think people understand.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
That this is a pretty amazing scene. The only thing it was missing was an Ewok. If an Ewok showed up on screen, my head would have exploded. This is all the little characters of the Star Wars universes, all the adorable little creature guys.
Yeah.
The thing that kept the Darth community employed in Hollywood in the early 80s.
Yeah.
All together in one scene. An Ugnaught, Jawas. If an Ewok showed up.
Or an R2 unit. Or an R2.
But operated with a little guy inside of it.
Yes. A Kenny Baker sized guy.
A Kenny Baker sized person inside of it would have just... You know, I would... It's just an awesome scene.
It
and
is.
They're like, leave your weapons. And I just like when he's trying to talk Jawa and the things like, the Jawa's like making fun of him, like, you talk like a Wookiee.
Right.
Like that. But like, and it's funny too, because like, you're not on Tatooine, but it looks like Jawas are just this thing that are just on planets.
I can see that.
And they have like, the coloring's a little different from the Tatooine Jawas. Like, they're like a darker gray.
Sure, they're like a different sect or something.
Yeah, but there's the same little shits that just like they just steal your shit and laugh. But they make a deal. And they're like, and I think this is so funny. It's like the egg.
Yeah, they want the
this egg. Which is funny because you think they would want the whole monster. Well, like that would feed them.
For a long time.
But they just wanted this gross egg that they
was
just
so bizarre.
Yeah, so he has to go get the egg. He agrees, and of course, obviously, this thing looks amazing.
Oh yeah,
again, this is TV. This looks better than
most of the
shit from the prequels.
Right, absolutely.
Like I don't know how they made it. I don't know if it's some puppetry or CGI. Like they had those other things that kind of look like dewbacks. What were those called? The things that heal like.
Yeah, they walk on two legs, and they have these little T-Rex arms.
They were like biting him. They were in both episodes. But when he fights that thing, man, it just looks good.
It looks good.
This show did not like. The second episode is directed by.
The second episode is directed by that Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah, so like Dave Filoni directs the first episode, and it's like okay. I don't think he's ever directed live action, and it shows. You know, I feel like people are trashing it. I'm like, listen, whatever. I mean, again, it's the pilot, so it's forgiven. But there's enough going on there. 5 people consider 5 the worst episode, and I could see that. Yeah, it's not as good, and he directed that one. It just didn't look as grand.
Right.
There were some really good shots though, like the part when we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But this guy does an amazing job in the second episode.
Oh yeah, it's real nice.
So they fight the rhino thing, and that's when, and he's losing. He's saying,
he's good. Yeah, he's good.
And that's when Baby Yoda does the shit with the Force. His little eyes are closed. It's so cute. He's reaching out.
It's adorable.
That's adorable, but he's doing some Yoda shit right there.
Oh yeah, like high level stuff. Yeah,
he's literally lifting that thing up high off the ground, and he doesn't enough. Gives the thing enough. Gets it off the ground. This like thing that must weigh at least 2 tons.
Oh yeah,
off the ground.
It's like a rhinoceros or something.
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah.
A space rhinoceros.
A space-oceros.
A spinoceros. Yes, the worst kind of rhinoceros.
Well, he pulls it off the ground and
gives him time to stab him and kill it.
Yeah.
Which I'm always like, did they have to kill it to get the egg?
Yeah.
Couldn't they just like knock it out and then get the egg and run? I don't know. Maybe
it is kind of
maybe like in episode 7 that rhinoceros show up and like, remember that egg you stole?
Right. Well, I don't know. It's kind of like a cruel. I thought about this a lot. Like There's a few things in the first couple episodes that establish this place as like a pretty cruel place.
Well, yeah,
like
Star Wars universe is cruel.
But this, like, it's real visceral. Like, you had like Nazi doctors experimenting on a child, which is very
episode 3.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it looks like that. That's how it looks.
And you also had like, look, the Mudhorn was just minding its own fucking business, trying to hatch an egg.
Yeah, it's protecting its baby.
And it got killed.
So
and
this
then
guy could get his shit back.
Yeah, and then the egg got like devoured for like looked like ceremonial reasons or whatever.
Yeah, it must be a big deal to them just to have a little bit of their goo.
Yes, I don't think it was for sustenance. I think it was
it's like a caviar
trophy or something. Yeah,
it's like a high. A Jawa's gonna have a hard time getting it.
And you had that what I thought was a horrible scene of the.
That's how I am with Popeye's chicken sandwich. You know what I mean?
That scene where you had what are they? Not the spider monkeys, but the monkey lizards or whatever. Basically the Jabba's.
Yeah. That scene where they show him eating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were that bothered you.
Yeah. I mean, it was like
in episode 1 when they show them.
Right.
Like.
So it's like they did a lot of work in the first few episodes.
Well, there is like a little bit of dystopian.
Yeah. There is.
Well, it's funny too because it's like it shows you like, and it's touching on not part of the main planets.
Right. It's off the beaten track. It's like the Wild West.
So it's almost like, would it matter if the Empire's running it or if the Republic is running it?
It's all the same.
These people are going to be living like shit regardless. Yeah. And some people, well, whatever, we're going to get to that. But like, and it's kind of funny too because like when he talks to, I think it's in a later episode, when Werner Herzog shows up in like episode 7, he talks about like, is your world better now?
Right.
Like because he's all about like pushing the Empire back, bringing it back, and he's like, we had order, we had this. It's like, is it any better? Which is like an easy way to. It's of course like, it's like Reconstruction time.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, it's not going to be great. They have to like rebuild everything.
Right,
and,
right.
Yeah.
So that was a little weird.
So yeah, they killed the rhino.
Yep. Got his,
Space PETA.
Right.
Speta is very upset. It's weird that Space PETA is literally just Space PETA. Right. Speta.
Well, they used the egg. They exchanged the eggs to the Jawas.
Yep, Jawas hack it open and eat the goo, and the egg looks gross. Like the egg's like hairy and muddy. I don't know, but he sees there's something special about this baby.
Right.
And is that the one with the marble? No, he doesn't. He gets on the ship in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 3 begins with the marble.
Right.
Where the Baby Yoda like screws up the little marble in the beginning.
Yeah, he wants to play with it.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, puts it back and then closes his little pod. But episode 2, he talks to Keel and he's like, join me, and Keel's like, no.
Right.
I have spoken, or whatever he says. He's like, I gotta do some Nick Nolte shit. I gotta talk to you later. So then we get to episode 3.
Yeah.
So obviously, marble thing. It's cute. He puts it back. It's a baby, or a little kid. I'm gonna say Baby Yoda's a little kid.
He seems toddlerish.
Yeah, toddler. I'm gonna say he's a 5-year-old.
Well, yeah.
He's like a 5-year-old kid who can't really speak.
He's weird. He's a mix. Like some of his characteristics are of like a 5-year-old, and some are like of a
like when he's hanging out with little kids in episode 4. He's like hanging out with them. And he's like doing. He's like, my thing. And some people think he's like because he's so little and stuff. They almost think he's like a pet because he doesn't talk.
Well, yeah, but, and I guess
which is like what makes that species unassuming. Yeah, because that's how Luke sees Yoda as this little goblin thing who's just like. Like,
well, that was like a big strength of Yoda when Luke met him. Now, going back into like episodes 1, 2, and 3, Yoda was presented as kind of a dignified person,
but Dumbledore of the Jedi.
But even then, he was the one in charge of teaching the children. Yeah, like he was the one that they liked, and you could see that
everyone
kind of being a thing.
Was taught by Yoda in some way,
right?
In this time period by the Jedi. Well, but like. When Luke meets him, he thinks he's just this little goblin that lives in the swamp. And he's a nuisance. And I think that when people see Baby Yoda, they think he's like, is he your pet? They say that a bunch of times, like in episode 6. They
even say that in the prison,
episode 6.
Prison.
Bill Burr or something. He's like, is that a pet? And okay, so episode 3, he drops the baby off. He brings it back. I just love again, like the wonderment of Yoda when he's looking. Yoda when he's looking around. It's like because the sticker is like, oh my God.
That's the thing. Like, you feel like a real sense of empathy for the Baby Yoda because like the Baby Yoda doesn't really understand what's going on, but
because in episode 1 when they don't bring it back at all in this season, so we're gonna maybe find out in season 2 more. You're introduced not just to Werner Herzog, but you're also introduced to this doctor,
Dr. Pershing,
and people pointed out that the doctor was wearing a symbol on his arm, which is the symbol of the cloners from episode 2.
Oh, okay.
They had like a symbol.
Right.
So he must be, and that's why there's rumors like, is Baby Yoda really a clone?
Or
are they going to clone him? Or they want to take his DNA and clone it into something else? There's people who think it ties into like episode 9, that they were going to use the midichlorians and Baby Yoda to feed him to fucking, I don't know, so Emperor Palpatine can drink him or something and get some strength back. I don't know. But, so you're introduced to that and you see him again when he drops the baby off to Werner Herzog and that guy, and the guy's like, he's alive. He's like, really good. Like, that doctor really wants to make sure that Baby Yoda's like protected.
Yes.
Like, Werner Herzog's just like, well, I don't give a fuck either way.
Right. Either way, it'll do. I'll get what I need either way.
I want to talk in a thick German accent and wear my let's do Empire shit. And he's like, no, this thing's really important. You don't understand how important this thing is. And the thing I love again about this series, how it's able to touch on things that fans will know. When they give him the money, they hand him this like thing.
Yeah.
I noticed it right away. I was like, oh, that's so fucking funny. It's the thing from Empire Strikes Back, the guy running. It was basically just like a prop. It was like supposedly like an ice cream maker.
Okay, yeah.
And the guy was running with it in Cloud City, and I told you they made like a prop. Like it's been like a fan joke for years. Like people dress up as this guy at Comic Cons, and they even made an action figure of the guy. He's just some like out of shape dude, like running around with a fucking ice cream maker. But in the Star Wars universe, this is actually it is revealed that this ice cream maker thing is actually, it opens up and it shows all the money, those credits, those Beskar Steel.
Right.
And so it's just funny to see that prop, and then it brings you back to Empire. Like, oh, that guy was like running with some fucking jewels or shit. Right. Like he was escaping with like all his money.
That's funny.
So it makes it even funnier now. It's like it's like not as big as like Obi-Wan saying like the Clone Wars, but it brings you. So if you're a real fan of the movies, and you know about those little details, and you know about those fun little fan things, like where people hyper focus on silly little things. Seeing that element in episode 3 was really fucking funny.
I thought, and at this point, we're like 2 hours in, so we're going to kind of abandon the episode by episode thing. But I thought another thing this series did really well is each episode the world got bigger and bigger, and like with this one in episode 3, like it starts out with just the Mandalorian.
Well, he drops the baby off, and you see the baby like.
Right.
And he feels bad, but he got the money and he's conflicted, but he did his job.
But he eventually goes back to retrieve the baby.
Well, we'll go real quick. He goes back to Carl Weathers. Yeah. Carl Weathers' character, Grief, is like, your success is my success. Here, you want to go... you want to get a hand job at this bar down the block? Right. It's kind of what he was implying. They didn't say that in Star Wars, and you say, hey, no. Great place for rub and tug. Right. He was just saying that...
He was going to take care of it.
There's some place I could take you. You worry about, get your mind off of that.
Right.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Rub and tug.
Try like a go-go.
Try like a go-go. Yeah. And he can't let go of it. And then, he gets, takes the money. And then he goes back to his sector, or whatever, the Mandalorians. And he gets all that new armor. But then, like, that one big dude the heavy infantry, like the Mandalorian guy gets to a fight with him, and he's like, "You brought the Empire onto, like, you sold us out. You went and dealt with the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, the Mandalorians hate the Empire, like, just with what happened to them after the Clone Wars. So it's kind of cool. Goes into that, and like, here's this guy, and I guess it kind of shows you that the Mandalorians are not normally bounty hunters.
No.
Like, he's this bounty hunter, like, kind of like and that's why Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian,
right? So
it's kind of like this guy is skirting the line.
Well, yeah, you get the sense that the Mandalorian isn't he's kind of an outsider amongst the Mandalorians.
Right, but he follows it. Like, he won't take his helmet off. You find out they can't take their helmet off.
He's fighting the good fight.
If anyone sees your face, you're basically not a Mandalorian anymore. Right. You have to, like, take the armor off. And there was one line, my God, I was like, oh no. He says, like, his weapons was his religion.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, there's going to be so many assholes wearing that shirt.
My weapons are my religion.
Right. Oh, mercy.
It's space, though.
Yeah, it's space.
Calm
you
down.
do
You're
get
just going into a Walmart.
You do get that scene, and you see at this point in the show, you know he's going to go back for the kid. I mean,
he gets his armor, and he gets to a fight with them, but then the armory woman, like, stops them.
Yeah.
And he also gives part of his money back. That's the thing,
to the foundling.
He does. He doesn't just. He's not like the scumbag just pocking in and exploiting his armor, exploiting the Mandalorian stuff to, like, use it to make money. He does bring money back to the group,
right? And then he in fairly short order, he goes back to
get the kid,
and he shoots up the place, kills everyone inside except the doctor.
Well, the doctor he sees, and I guess von Herzog left.
Right.
So he sees the doctor, and he sees the Baby Yoda character, like, in this weird, like, monitoring system, and he's like, "Did you harm me?" And he's like, "No, I kept it safe." I love, though, the medical ball.
The
first Star Wars movie is there. I always love that thing. It was like the stupidest droid. Its main purpose, it's like no one in space knows how to, like, inject a needle.
Right. You have like
Yeah, they have this weird droid is that droid better at injecting a needle? Like, I wouldn't want that thing coming. It'd be like, hold on.
Yeah.
It'd be like just randomly poking you and shit. Like, dude, you're missing every vein in my body and just really hurting me. Well, stop it. He shoots that thing, though. And
he spares the doctor.
Yeah.
And then he rescues the Baby Yoda.
Well, and again, I thought the doctor would have came back, but you're not going to find out till episode 2, because obviously there's more to the doctor. The doctor could be, maybe isn't a bad guy. Maybe he isn't really he's just dealing with the Empire.
Could be.
We don't know. We don't know what the fuck it is. We don't know if Baby Yoda is a clone. We don't know if, it's kind of left off in the end that, when they talk to Keel and they talk to everybody that, like, that, I forgot what he says about him. Like, he's not made in the farms or something. Like, Keel says something like... Because he makes a comment to Cara Dune's character, Keel, that she looked like she was, like... Almost like she was genetically grown. Like, she's, like, a clone trooper or something. But a female.
There's a lot of that There's a lot of the... If you look hard enough, I mean, I guess you don't have to look hard, but there's a lot of cloning references.
Yeah, it's part of the Star Wars universe.
It's part of the Star Wars universe. Yeah. You wonder if it's... Watching The Mandalorian now, you wonder if, hey, look, this is just continuity. The universe is filled with clones.
Or it has a history of clones.
Or you wonder, like, are they telling us something about the Baby Yoda character?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's hard to tell.
Right, but then they leave it off like, hey, you know what? You might have to go... find that this isn't a clone. It has a family.
Right.
Season 2 could be an attempt to go find the Yoda planet. I kind of hope they don't. Say that, or don't show the Yoda. There is no Yoda planet.
Right.
I kind of do like the idea of, like, Yoda's being like this almost magical species where they do, like, almost only exist one at a time.
Yeah.
They don't really.
That would be good. It is weird, like. They don't. At the end of this series, the armorer basically says to the Mandalorian, "This is your mission now."
Oh yeah, like, you need to.
Yeah, you're a clan of 2.
You're a clan of 2. This is your foundling. You have in the meet. You either find this family, this kid's
or
family,
you take care of it till it's of age,
just like the way whatever Mandalorian did for him.
Yeah.
So back to episode 3.
Yeah.
We'll wrap that up. But like he goes through. He like not just does he have to fight the Empire, and he gets out.
Right.
And he has to he uses all his best weapons.
Yep. Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Everything.
And Baby Yoda is like out of it.
Oh yeah.
So he's not going to be waving his little arm in this episode.
No.
Then he has to deal now with freaking with Apollo Creed.
Yeah. Right. Well, that leads
all
to
those guys, and then that's when
the greatest scene I think in the whole series.
It's not my. I think it's funny you say that. It's not my favorite scene. I don't care. I'm so over like just because it has a Boba Fett helmet doesn't mean it's cool.
No, it's just
it's awesome.
It's the idea that the basic thing is like he fights his way through the Empire troops or the former Empire, and then he has to fight his way through all the bounty
and it's up to the point now where he's basically surrounded,
right?
And he's just looking at the baby. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Right.
But that's when all the buddies show up.
Well,
even the one dude who was fighting him.
Yeah. I thought it was so cool.
By Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah. I did read that. I thought it was so cool because, A, you get to see, like, basically like a dozen Boba Fett's jetpack their way into battle. And
he doesn't have a jetpack.
No.
He doesn't have one yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And so they come in and they're clearly like super skilled warriors, and it's this great.
They basically open up a path for him to escape.
Yes.
And I like when he's flying the ship and you see the one guy. I think it's the one that he got into.
Right.
I hope he shows up again. I know in like episode 8, you see all those like armor, and you're like, some of them obviously were killed.
Oh yeah.
And Grief Pablo.
Right.
Carl Weathers, we'll call him.
Sure.
Is like, no, my guys had nothing to do with that. I swear. Like, once you left, like,
right,
we just went back to doing our own shit. Like, that was just like a
well, I get that. That makes sense.
So, but I hope we see that guy again, or some of those elements.
Some of the Mandalorian.
I'm sure we'll see the armor woman again. So he flies away, and he's like, I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah. Well,
and then he gives the little ball.
Yeah,
Baby Yoda.
to Baby Yoda.
And that's it. And again, it's like episode 1 to 3. It does a good job of like...
It could be a movie, you're right.
It could be its own movie. It works.
Well, and it also showed, with the Mandalorians jetpacking in, it showed like so much about the Creed is basically like, look, they don't like this guy. They don't like the Mandalorian. They argue...
Well, there's some jealousy. There's some...
but
they don't like what he's doing 100%. But But he is part of it. Yeah, this is the way. That's the line. And they keep saying that throughout the fucking series.
Yeah.
This is the way.
After 3,
Can't wait to see all those t-shirts.
Yeah, right.
This is the way. And that episode was directed by...
that one, episode 3, was by Deborah Chow.
And she directed episode 7.
Yes.
And she's going to be directing... Or I don't know if she's going to be the showrunner or she... I think she's going to be doing the whole entire Obi-Wan series. The 6-episode series.
Hers was great. I remember
the 2 episodes she did are good.
Yeah, they're really good.
7's a setup for 8, really.
7, she's limited by the story. The story constrains what she is saying.
But it does a good job of setting up.
Right.
So 4...
Well, let's talk about 4 and 5 together.
Okay, so 4 and 5 are weird episodes.
They're standalone episodes.
Well, 6 is technically a standalone also. 4, 5, and 6 are standalone episodes.
Okay, fair.
It's like, you get 1 through 3, they are... It's like serialized story.
Yep.
Could be, if you added like 15 more minutes, it could have been a solid movie.
But you can't... I mean, I guess you could watch 1 alone, but like 1, 2, and 3 work together.
Like I said, they could be a movie. It could, if you added 15 minutes into it, it could have been a theatrical movie.
You could show anyone 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, or 6.
Out of order.
In any order, or just one of them, and they'd be like, oh, okay, I see what that show's about.
Yeah.
And
4 is the most memeable episode. That's the one that has like... It was directed by...
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah. It's okay. It's like... It's not the greatest episode.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's one with the village. I call it like the Three Amigos episode. I thought of Three Amigos, but obviously Three Amigos was a joke on Seven Samurai.
Right.
It's like he comes in. It's a village being... the villains sucked in that episode. They were just like this faceless marauder. Yeah, they looked like orcs from... Like, they were just like leftover masks they had.
Yeah.
It was okay. They were, like you said, we were talking about Villain of the Week.
It was.
But that's like, that episode had like the greatest moments with Yoda. Like when he's fucking with the machine and the ship.
Yeah.
And everybody makes those gifs and memes of like,
And it's
Baby
where he tries
putting
to,
on music, like effervescence, and then, what was the other one you said?
Toto's Africa.
Yeah, Toto's Africa. There's a whole bunch of them. It's so good.
And it's one where he eats a frog and spits it out.
Yeah, because the little kids see it. Well, he eats a frog in episode 2, and he just eats it. But in this one, he's surrounded by a bunch of kids when he grabs it. Like, they're all they're playing this game, Catch the Frog.
Right.
Which I guess, what else do they do in this fucking village? I don't know. They don't have video games or anything. Catch a frog, kid. Here's your game. Go catching frogs. Well, Yoda catches a frog and he's eating it, and the kids are like, ew, and he spits it out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's learning. Like, this is kind of gross.
Well,
he's learning. 50 years, this thing is learning a little bit.
But with this one, and I don't want to spend a ton of time on this one, but basically...
Well, you meet Cara Dune.
And that is important later. And the big things that happen here are... The Mandalorian, you find that the Mandalorian, he doesn't want to settle down. He doesn't want to take off his helmet. And he's to the point... Oh, yeah,
that woman is, like, trying so hard to get with him.
Right.
It
was a bizarre...
She's, like, really thirsty.
Did you ever see...
I hate using that word, but she is, like, super thirsty for the Mandalorian to the point... And he's just, like, doesn't care. You know, somebody would be like, yo, man, I mean, you gay? It's cool if you are, man.
Did you ever see Shane, that Western Shane?
No.
It was basically the plot of Shane. A drifter...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of movies like that. Drifter wanders into town. The Mandalorian wanders into town.
Yep.
He's got an agenda, secret past or whatever, and then he begrudgingly helps the locals fight off the local crime gang or whatever. You know, I mean, there's a million movies like that. I love the AT-AT coming in, or the ATST coming in.
I like the way they treat it. Like, some people are like, oh, is it like AI? I'm like, no, it's imagery.
Yeah.
It makes it look like this. First of all, the way it comes in, it imitates King Kong.
Yeah,
King Kong first shows up,
coming through the jungle.
Through the jungle, and it finally reveals itself. The ATST shows up, and it's just like that. And what I like about it, too, is that it shows that, like... it was painted over.
Yeah.
It's just like leftover weapons, people were like scavengers are just taking old shit, repurposing old, it's like...
Yeah, it's great.
We have some ATSTs laying around. I'll take,
Of course a crime gang's going to use it.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course. Intimidate a village with it.
But the big news here for me was he's like, I want to give this kid a better life. And he's going to leave the child.
Right.
And then you quickly realize, like, they will never be safe.
Right.
He is never going to be able to leave the kid anywhere.
Yep.
He's got to protect the kid. That's him now.
He can't. At first, he was going to leave it and go do his thing. And you could tell he'd be sad, but he figured... And the thing is, like, a lot of time takes place in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
He's there for, like, a month.
Well, they train and there's a lot going on.
No, but... In the end of the episode, it's revealed, like, that last scene.
Oh, yeah,
that's not right. That's not like the day after. He's there for, like, looks like possibly weeks.
Yeah.
And, like, the Baby Yoda's acclimated with the kids, and he's obviously been hanging out that
that woman for a while, right?
Super thirsty.
Yeah.
She's like...
She does... Well, look,
a man.
And there's, like, a weird thing here, because, like, I was almost expecting to see her again, because in this village full of... no one who could hit the broadside of a barn with a laser. She's pretty good with a blaster.
I don't think you're going to see her again.
I don't either.
Unless he goes back there.
But I was like, they're kind of giving her a little bit of a backstory, saying, they're like, does anyone know how to use a gun? And she raises her hand like... Yeah,
she might show up. I mean, I feel like everyone, a lot of characters in this series, especially like... So... We'll just get to that point in a second, but like so, episode 4, like I said, he meets Cara Dune, and I was like, I'm watching it, and he says goodbye to her. I'll see you another time, and I'm like, okay, there's no way that this is the only episode she's going to be in. They made an action figure for her. She's in all that promotion. I'm like,
and she's a very charismatic.
I was shocked that IG-11 was killed because they made an action figure of him, and he was in all the promotions also. Yeah. So we find out in episode...
Right, he comes back.
Yeah. So episode 4, again, it's like, it's not as good as 1 and 3. It's good,
It's fine. Yeah.
5, the next episode is the weakest of the bunch.
I think so, too.
It's like, if we were to grade all of them, it's like, I would give episode 1, like, a B.
B plus.
B plus. I would give episode 2 a B plus to an A.
Right.
It's like, I would give 3 definitely an A. I would give 2 and 3 an A.
Yeah.
I guess 3 is better because some more shit happens. But I just really love 2. 4, I would give a B.
Sure.
Now we're going to go to the C+ episode.
Yeah, this is the weakest link.
It's the weakest one, but it's not the worst thing
it's a
ever.
fun look.
It's weird. The only thing I don't like about it, it's like, so the beginning episode's kind of cool. He's getting attacked by they're escaping and they're getting hunted. So in the end of episode 4, you see a bounty hunter show up.
Right.
And you see the target on it.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because they make a reference to a womp rat.
Right.
Cara Dune, thankfully, saw the bounty hunter kill
and popped him.
And that's when he realized, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, because I'll never be safe here. I got the kids with me now.
Yeah, the kids with me. I gotta keep them safe. I gotta find a place. So 5 begins right off the bat with them being attacked by a spaceship, and that's when he does like that cool maneuver, blows it up. It did some damage on a ship, and that's when he's like, "All right, it's time to go to Tatooine," and it's kind of awesome. You're like, but it didn't. It's like funny because you could tell that he was like supposedly in the same bar as like New Hope. The bar he was in Mos Eisley because when he lands, it's almost the same dock. It's a similar docking bay to what the Millennium Falcon. It's like not as big. That's the thing. I think that's another. It's the 5th episode directed by Dave Filoni.
Yep.
And you can tell it's like you got these actors you did these directors. One of them has directed major motion picture, which is the last episode.
Yep.
And then you had other ones who directed. I don't know what they've directed. I think she's might have directed Game of Thrones episodes, so those are very theatrical. I don't know what he's directed. What's his name? The one who did 2 and 6.
He is Rick Famuyiwa.
I don't know what he directed, but you could tell that like blocking shots and everything. It's like it's just like something that looks so grand.
Yeah.
In New Hope. And maybe it also shows you, like, it was, like, some emptiness to it. It's, like, it's post-Return of the Jedi. It's kind of funny. He goes to the same bar, and now it's droids working at the bar. Which
it's changed, right?
It's kind of because droids weren't allowed in that bar. And that's when you're introduced to that guy who's, like, he's okay, too. He's not that great. But, that's right. I left out the most important part. When they land in Tatooine, they land in the docking bay, and you see those little droids from episode 1.
Right.
But then this woman shows up.
Oh, yeah. What's her name?
Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, Amy Sedaris.
It's like a Jerry Blank shows up.
She's
wearing like this. I didn't recognize her at first.
No.
Because
it
took me out of the episode a little bit.
like her a whole lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I didn't like her at all in this. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean...
I said, like... I wish he kind of turned out to be a scumbag in the end.
Yeah.
And he would have to, like she'd be like... Because she, like... He leaves... He's always... The funny thing, he's always leaving Yoda in the ship.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, stay. And, of course, the fucking... Episode 4, he says that, stay. And then you just see him walking around. He's like, all right, I guess you're coming with me.
Right.
And then 5, thankfully, the baby was sleeping. He's like, I'm just going to leave him in there.
She fucking locked the door, man. I mean,
he didn't. And the baby, like, comes out all, like, waking up tired.
Yeah.
And he's like... This is like one of the best scenes of the episode.
Really good, yeah.
And she's like, "Well, he's a fucking kid on the ship."
She was good.
I just like it, like her. I told my wife this. Like, she sees Baby Yoda, and this woman's like ovaries grew 6 times its size.
Yeah,
like she just let like baby fever immediately.
Yeah,
she like wanted to just mother that thing.
Her character was fine, I guess. It's just that I knew her. And it would have been better, like, played exactly the same way, with the same intonations, but with an actress.
Maybe a better director, though? Maybe if the director... Maybe, yeah, it's possible. Maybe if the better director, you know, you could do... Anything could be done. I always say that. I'm like, you know, I always think, like, when they talk about, like, actors and stuff, like, oh, well, especially back in the day, if they were on, like, a TV show, like, oh, we can't take this actor seriously. It's like, no, if given the right script and done right, it
can be fine.
Yeah. I mean, like... I don't know. It's fine. It's just like, again, it's like he needs money because he has to fix the ship.
This was
another episode.
The most inessential episode. Like, you could have...
But they do introduce some elements. Well, there's that guy, and he wants to get in the guild, and Mando's like, I'll help you if you help me. And
but think about it. Could you remove episode 5 and watch all the other episodes, and it still make perfect sense?
The only thing is, you're introduced to that woman... who her name, I forgot her name, and real life, but she's from the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, yeah.
She's famous.
Ming-Na, is it? Yeah.
Ming-Na?
Could be not.
Sure. But she clearly seems like she must be a future important character, because they did make a big deal about her, but she's only in this one episode. She's this deadly bounty hunter, and obviously there was something on her. And it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of cool. You do see some elements, like there's a do-back. Yeah. There's like, that's the best, one of the best scenes in the episodes when he first goes on that mission with that guy. Yeah. And they see sand people.
Oh, yeah, right. And that was pretty good.
And then, like, they're like, they're right behind you.
Right.
And he kind of respected them, which I thought was kind of interesting, because usually, like, they're treated like shit. Like, when it's like, it's like they see Tatooine's like they're like the true natives of this planet.
Right. They're like the Aboriginal culture there.
Yeah. And he knew how to talk to them.
Right.
I thought that I just like them when they're standing there. It was kind of funny. Like,
he had to give up the binoculars and
Yeah, he's like, they're right next to him. That was probably again, there's some elements, but you're right. Is it the most? Isn't it? If there's an episode you could skip, I guess you could skip this episode.
Yeah,
but it's only 8 episodes.
No, look, I liked it a whole lot. Yeah. I mean, giving it a C+ or whatever, that's not to say it's a bad episode.
Yeah.
Look,
it's still better than most TV out there.
The worst episode of The Mandalorian is better than 95% of the TV out there.
Yeah. Sure.
So,
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, so, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm still very grateful for the episode. But you could go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
7, 8. Really.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's weird that they decided to do that. I don't feel like they need to be so serialized. But for only 8 episodes, I found it interesting that they, because 1 through 3 are like I said, they could work as a movie, and then you just go with like villain episode of the week,
right,
for 3 episodes, and then you go back to a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Maybe season 2 will be longer. Maybe they'll make it 10 episodes.
It wouldn't stun me given the reception it's had.
Like, why not? Or like maybe split it up if you want, like 2 6 episodes, and then not wait a year and do 6 episodes. Then you have technically a 12-part season that was just split up. And
you had said this earlier. If it were a 10 or 12 episode season, then 3 Monster of the Week or Villain of the Week episodes
spread out wouldn't be that big of a deal.
It would be fine.
Yeah. But for 8 episodes, I just found it kind of weird to have like what made it, like you said, like a classic Western show of like, I got Baby Yoda, and it's like the hero comes into the town, or the hero meets a new character, and it's fine. Again, episode 6 is episode 5, like I said. They meet that character. Of course, that young bounty hunter guy turns on him like you knew he would.
Yeah,
they kill him.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Like, you knew that he was going to... well, the guy, as he was trying to get a do-back or something, he had her, like, the Ming-Na character. Yeah. And she basically told him, like, there's, like, the biggest bounty ever on this guy. Like, why are you wasting your time with me? Like, I'm nothing. You're going to be a legend. This guy wants to make... He was all about trying to be something, He wants to... And he's like, you'll be the biggest thing in the guild if you caught the Mandalorian and this baby. Like... Yeah. And, it didn't work out for him.
Right. He was like a character in... there's a book... they made a movie out of it, All the Pretty Horses, and it was like a young... It's a trope, like a Western trope, like the young hothead who wants to make his mark and gets it over his head.
Like I said, the only thing I was disappointed with the episode was just like... Okay, we're coming back to Tatooine, but it didn't make Tatooine look special.
No.
Like, I almost would have preferred if it just wasn't Tatooine.
It would have been... I mean, I guess then you couldn't have the Sand People, but...
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mad, like, they're playing with my nostalgia. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at it as more of, like, if you're going to go back there, just...
Make it count.
Make it a little grander. Like, I get it. Like... I do like the whole, like, just the day there, and maybe with, like, the way, Jabba's dead.
Right,
There's no Jabba the Hutt there. Jabba the Hutt's dead. Yeah. So he ran Tatooine, basically. It was his, like...
So there's a power vacuum there.
So it's just, like, it's just whatever. Like, in the end of episode 9, when she shows up, and, like, that old lady just, like, there's nobody here. Yeah, maybe, like, Tatooine is just, like, this... It's just, like... a forgotten planet. It doesn't have the activity it used to have. It's like.
Right.
It's like a former casino that no one gives
Atlantic
a shit
City.
about. Yeah, what trumped into Atlantic City. The Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right, so episode 6.
I love episode 6.
I liked it a whole lot. To be honest, it felt the least like the show. Like, it was all in space.
It takes place on a spaceport,
a spaceship. Yeah,
but then that prison vessel.
Right.
It's an interesting episode. It's funny. At first I was like, when I heard Bill Burr was going to be on the show, I was like, oh no, but he was great in Breaking Bad. And then I'm like, okay, he's going to play a scumbag, obviously.
Well, it was real good. It was clearly it to me was more like a World War II. Not heist movie, but it was a jailbreak movie.
You got to learn about Mandalorian a little more too, because it was like
history.
His bounty hunter, not his. This is his doing bad shit versus his
respectable bounty hunting
or being a Mandalorian, a respectable Mandalorian. This was his obviously what he was up to in his early 20s or something,
right?
And that guy he meets. That you ever seen that guy in anything before? The one who ran the job. I've seen that guy. He's in that. What was that biker show? He was in
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he was in that. He was in Batman Begins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You've seen this guy. He always plays he plays that
right.
guy.
Well, I like this a whole lot.
Wait, he was really good in? Did you ever watch Last Man on Earth with?
with the guy from SNL.
Yeah. He was a villain on the show. He was the one that when isn't he Sudeikis his brother? He runs into him first, and then he was a total nut.
Right.
He showed up a couple episodes. So he was great on the show.
That's funny. I liked 6 a lot. I think you did learn some good narrative stuff that kept the plot of the whole series moving forward. Yeah. But it was just kind of a fun episode.
Yeah, they're giving it, and it's not a short episode. It's a little longer, which I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. But he gets there, and you get some funny moments. But Bill Burr delivers some good moments. They use him as a way to make some fun of some of the things that get made fun of in Star Wars. When he says about aiming or something.
Oh yeah.
He was I wasn't a fucking stormtrooper. He used to be an Imperial gunner or something. Bill Burr's character. He worked for the Empire. But, Mandalorian makes a joke about shooting abilities. And he's like, no, I wasn't a fucking stormtrooper. So obviously that's a known fact that stormtroopers suck or something, which I think is a ridiculous thing. But whatever. And then he makes other jokes when you meet the gang, that famous Clancy... the one who's the big hornhead guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That guy's awesome. He's from Highlander and Clancy Brown.
Oh yeah.
But he's famous for being also the crab from SpongeBob.
Oh.
But he's just one of those guys. He was in Starship Troopers. He's famous for Highlander. The throat slit.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys you see in lots of things. So I didn't even recognize him in it because I'm in that makeup.
That's funny, yeah.
And then that woman who was the Twi'lek is from Game of Thrones and Harry Potter.
Yep.
She's one of the witches, and she's one of the sorcerers in Harry Potter.
Yes.
She plays a Twi'lek who I guess he must have
had some sort of relationship with. Yeah.
But I'm they're not supposed to take the helmet off, so that's I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I'm sure he's screwed that up a couple of times. And maybe now he takes it seriously.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in the day.
Yeah, he probably wasn't. So, yeah.
But they make a joke and say, what's under the helmet? And, that's when Bill Burr makes that joke about, oh, maybe he's a Gungan. Oh, I want to see your face. He does, the Gungan voice. And then they make another joke about the casino planet.
Yeah.
So I just found it funny that they had Bill Burr, he was,
acting as a bridge of sorts.
But on the... but to use as commentary to make fun of... Because regardless of what you think of The Last Jedi, most people hate the casino planet.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of Episode 1, most people hate Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
So, regardless of what you think of the movies, everything, stormtroopers can't shoot. So it was funny. He's you get a comedian guy like him, and he's he's like doing stand up in the show.
Yeah.
But it works in with the universe. He's making fun of
right,
he's making,
and it doesn't feel like stand up. It feels
but
like
he's making commentary on the things that we all make fun of, regardless of even if you're a fan of Star Wars, you don't like the Casino Planet. It's like it's a time waster. It's just not done right. I personally don't hate it that much. I don't like the story, but I like the way it looked.
That's fine.
Whatever.
Well,
I guess I'm a fucking idiot.
Look,
well, they have to go in, get the job, and they're on like a prison, a Republic prison thing.
Yeah.
And they got to break somebody out, and you find out it's the
Twi'lek's brother.
Yeah, and he's a scuzzball.
Yeah. There's like a lot of double crossing. It's not a Tarantino feel in the perfect sense. But there is kind of like
you
that.
see it coming. Oh, and there's a droid. The droid was did you ever watch the Crowd?
Yeah.
Well, he did the voice of the droid. At first I thought it was Jermaine from Flight of Conchords at first, but then I realized, because I figured with Taiki Waititi doing it with his connections with them with Dear Shadows, I figured they got Jermaine, but then I was like, listen, I'm like, it's not him. It's the guy from the
that's
Crowd.
funny.
And that guy's voice is awesome.
Yeah. He almost looked like Black Manta. Yeah, the robot.
He was like a mix of Zuckuss from Empire Strikes Back and like Black Manta. Yeah, he's like a droid. And again, Mando doesn't like him.
Nope.
And they do a fun little thing with him and Baby Yoda because he's piloting the ship.
Yeah.
And then you see Baby Yoda pop up because he's on the episode a lot.
No.
He shows up more towards the end. But he's like playing a little cat and mouse game with him. He is Jerry to the robot Tom.
He's going to go try to kill the Baby Yoda.
Yeah, and he's like, and again, it shows you that Baby Yoda's not that helpless. He can, he's a little more resourceful than you think. And so while Mando's doing that, the droid's doing, and they said like what's cool about the episode, it almost turns into like a horror movie where Mando hunts each one of them down. He gets them separated. And then, like, the screen starts turning red, and he hunts each one of them down individually.
It is kind of alien-like.
Yeah, and he leaves it in a way where he's like, he doesn't say he killed them, because when he shows back up in the ship, he catches the guy, and the guy convinces him to take him back or whatever. I don't know. And then the main dude, I forgot his name, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, he's like, he's like, we don't ask questions.
Right.
And then, like, what did he do to the droid, though? Did he kill the droid?
I think he killed the droid because he
came
up behind the droid when the droid had cornered Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Well, that was it. You do meet Baby Yoda, that scene, though, when they're on the ship before they land on the vessel. They open up the thing and Baby Yoda does that. Oh, that was it. He was about to do the thing with the arm.
Yeah.
Like, he was about to do some force shit.
Yeah.
To try to stop the robot, and that's when Mando killed him.
Right.
The Republic guy who was running the ship, when Mando is like, listen, man, we're just trying to get this guy. We're not like like they're probably just would have killed him. They're like, no, don't kill this guy. He's got a beacon.
Yeah.
And I guess that beacon means like the Republic.
It sends in a kill squad. Yeah.
Yeah, which I found kind of interesting.
It was a little bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy the actor they got. He's the voice of Anakin in the Clone Wars series.
Oh, okay. You told me this. Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, Mando, gets on the ship. I mean, he gets back and he's about to leave, and of course that guy's like, of course he turns on him.
Yeah.
He's like, kill him. That awesome ship comes out.
Right.
And then they find out that the beacon.
He
left the beacon on the Twi'lek guy on his back or something.
Yeah, and then the rebel, well, not the rebel anymore, but the New Republic.
Three directors of the show came and blew him up.
Look, I like that scene a lot because it seemed, and we talked about this a couple times.
Yeah.
It was like there was just a couple patrol ships, and it was like so anonymous and routine, and it wasn't like this massive star battle. It was just this short, nasty, brutal killing.
Yeah.
And they swept in there and they killed them, and that's probably what they were doing in the New Republic, like eliminating threats. They don't have. It's not Star Trek where like they're gonna swoop in there and like raise a comm link. Let's see how they feel. It's like, no, this is probably it's either the Empire or the former Hutt group, or it's some shitty group out and let's just kill them.
Yeah, which is I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't know if it's a good thing either, but like that's probably what it would be.
And I'm wondering if they'll touch on that in season 2 a little more. And then one thing I do like, though, obviously you find out the 3 characters were not killed. Mando,
right?
He just threw them all in the same cell in the end.
Yeah,
which is funny. Apprehended them, which is cool because that means they're probably going to come back.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing Bill Burr's character
that'd
come
be
back.
great.
I wouldn't mind seeing that guy.
That Twi'lek was real good. Yeah.
And whatever the Zorn or whatever that guy, the alien. It's so funny. He's like, he looks cool, but like it's. Again, what I like about the show too is it touches on, you get to see, it fleshes out all those background things.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I like Jawas, they were just like a thing in the background. There's some little interaction in New Hope, but now it's like you get a whole episode with them.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. That's not, again,
that's
it's
not bad, yeah.
Is it playing with nostalgia? I guess. But
that's what it is.
That's what it is. It's like, we can't have, Klingons, because they were in that episode. No.
That's
part I want to learn more about the Klingons.
Right.
I want to learn more about the Jawas. You know what? I'd be fine if they did another episode with the Jawas. And we learn why they're so adorable. You know, no, but I mean, like, I wouldn't mind that. I know we're running long, but that's fine. You know what? This is our first episode.
Yeah.
You know?
Season 2.
Season 2. Right. This whole episode is season 2.
Right. Yeah.
Where are we at?
We are at, we're probably at a little over 2.5 hours.
You know what? This is going to be a 3-hour episode. We're going to finish, and Joseph is never going to bed. We're up to 7 and 8.
Yeah.
It's one episode.
It's one
long
episode. Right.
Again...
7, they're directed by different. 7 is directed by the Deborah Chow.
Yep.
Who also directed number 3, which was fantastic. And Taka Waititi did 8.
And we know who he is.
Yes.
I mean, he did Thor Ragnarok. He did an excellent job of that. He did What We Do in the Shadows. He did, what's that one, though? Something People? It's like a famous movie from New Zealand. I totally forgot the name of it. It's supposed to be really good. I don't know. IMDb him. Yeah. He's made like 1,000 movies. Well, figure out what he did.
Episode 8 was amazing.
Yeah, 7's good. It leads into 8. It's like one.
Yeah.
It's build up, but okay. Just to go back to 6 real quick. The one thing I liked about 6 too, the way it ended, was when Mandalorian's in the ship in the end. Like they just when he escapes the ship.
Yeah.
And it's like the X-Wings show up. They almost hit him. It's like
right.
And I kind of find it funny they don't even worry about him. He just flies away. But he kind of looks back at Baby Yoda and just says something yeah, maybe you were right or something like. I don't know. It's just kind of they're a team now. It's it's pretty solid now.
Yeah, it seems. But by the end of 6, you get a sense of a new.
And a lot of time has clearly passed.
Oh yeah.
From what I'm imagining, and I don't want to and I'm curious if they'll touch on it more. I'm sure someone will create a timeline or whatever.
Probably a couple months, right?
I would say this show is probably at least 4 months.
Yeah.
Maybe even 6 months. Especially what happens to some of the with the planet. I just want to look up the name. So episode 7 begins with him getting where he's flying.
Yep.
Doing his Mando shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with Baby Yoda. The Rick and Morty of the Star Wars universe.
I was going to go BJ and the Bear, but yes.
BJ and the Bear. Yeah. That's a real current reference. BJ and the Bear. I think it was I'm trying to think of something older.
Good luck.
BJ and the Bear. I know. It's the thing, too. It followed, Any Way But Loose starring Clint Eastwood and that monkey.
Yeah. No, but it started. Look, it kind of starts out with a.
He gets a hologram thing from Grief.
Yeah, and he's look, it's all
him back.
good.
He's hey, he shot. Oh yeah, because in the end of episode 3, as he's about to escape in the ship, Grief is of course, the last one who sees him. Yes. And he tries to take him down in the end, but then I think Mando uses that carbon chamber thing to just create some smoke, and then he shoots him to get him off the ship, but he doesn't die because he had that Imperial.
Yeah, the plate.
Yeah, the magic bulletproof vest thing.
Well, it sets up pretty with what.
But you knew he was going to come back.
Yeah, and you think look, when at the beginning of 7, when Grief is like, hey, come back. We can fight the Empire. The remnants of the Empire together, and all will be forgiven or whatever. You kind of know in the back of your head.
Well, he was like, bring the baby back. We can get this resolved so you don't have to run anymore.
Right.
In episode 6, that droid, when he was flying his ship, I think the message was there, and he was popping up, and he was like, I guess...
He's interesting, or he says something to that.
So that's another reason why they turned on the Mandalorian on the ship.
Yeah.
Was because they were like, hey, dude, this guy's like wanted or something. Right. I don't know. Okay, so back to 7. Yeah, so that's when it sets up like, hey, we're going to need a gang or something.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes back to Cara Dune.
Yep.
Oh, she's fighting that guy. I talked to you about it.
Oh, yeah. They're like tethered together.
Weird.
It is.
It's a weird scene. She's fighting a guy who's from the same species that Darth Maul is.
Yeah. The Zebrak or something?
Sure, whatever.
Yeah. There's
Hornhead guys.
Right.
Horny dudes.
Right.
Such a horny dudes. And she's fighting this dude, and they're tethered at the waist, but man, it's like really low on the waist.
Yeah.
And
it's a weird,
visually, like I said, there's a part in the end when she like chokes him out.
Right.
It like just pulls it. And I'm like, it looks like she ripped the dude's dick off. That's what it, like, I was like,
to me,
wow, it kind of looked like that.
Twins still tethered by an umbilical cord, like fighting. I was like, this is just weird.
The whole thing was bizarre. Yeah. But she's obviously been there for a while, and she's just like, I don't know if she's considered like protective area, or she's just, she's just getting money. It's like betting.
Right.
But then he shows up, and of course she sees Baby Yoda. She, immediately.
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, you again?"
Right.
Huge fuzz.
Right.
That's the best thing about him. It's like, again, Baby Yoda. I'll bring it up one last time. I find it really bizarre about him that he would wear a similar outfit, Baby Yoda, baby version of
Yoda's outfit,
Boomer Yoda's outfit.
Yeah. That is weird.
A Boomer Yoda's gross old outfit. He's got like the same color scheme. It's just the same look, except it's got a little cozy collar, little cozy sleeves.
Yeah.
He kind of looks a little bit like, do you remember the movie Munchies?
Oh, yeah.
The shitty Gremlins knockoff?
Right.
They kind of wore similar outfits to that, too.
Well,
everyone keeps bringing up Mogwai. And I'm thinking, Munchies. Something real relevant in today's era. Grade Z Gremlins ripoff.
You see the Carl Weathers character set what's clearly a trap.
You don't know that.
It felt like a trap to me.
I mean, obviously, you knew he was going to turn on him. But then he goes and gets... Oh, and I guess he goes back to get Keel?
Yes, right.
Which I found a little odd, but I guess he figured he'd help him.
He knew he was a reliable ally.
That was it. There was a reason. Because when they're on the ship, and they're talking, Baby Yoda, you see his little head peek down. Again, he's not that innocent. He knows something's up. He doesn't want to go back to that planet.
No, not at all.
He does not want to go back and deal with the Empire. He doesn't want to be used as bait.
Right.
And he peeks his little head down and just goes back up, and you see him flying the ship. It's like one of the funniest scenes in like the whole series. And then he's like, what the fuck? Like, obviously Baby Yoda can't fly for shit.
No. But he wants to get out of there.
And she's like, we need somebody who could like watch him. So he's just like, well... Mandalorian's like, well, I know the first person I would think of to watch a child, Nick Nolte.
Right. Naturally. So that does explain that.
He goes back to, and then that's when he sees Keel.
Yep.
And he talks to him, and he asks him to build him like a little pod, so they're like a new pod.
Like an armored one.
And then, as they're sitting there, that's when IG-11 shows up.
Yeah.
And like serves him drinks, and he's like, get that fuck.
Right, but he's been reprogrammed.
And this scene is one, I find this scene to be hysterical.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It's really bizarre. It's just like, it's so weird. Like, Keel, like, him talking and the way he talks. He's like, he goes into like this long, overdrawn story about what he did to the droid.
Right. That was really funny.
Programmed him, and like things learning to walk, serve, like drink, like he crushes the glasses.
Yeah.
But it made me think of that scene from Napoleon Dynamite. With Pedro talking about when he was hot and he shaved his head. And it's just like this weird, like, it's kind of like...
It's just long and drawn out.
It's long and drawn out, the way they talk. It's like, and you're just like, not... it's like not the most exciting story. I don't know why I thought of Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
I can see that.
Storyline.
Well...
Yeah.
No, you do have... Okay, so they gather their forces.
Yeah, well, Keel gets into a fight with Cara Dune.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when because I guess he served the Empire, but unwillingly, obviously.
Right, he was an indentured servant.
Yeah, but then he says a weird line, and people are like, wait, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, he's like, I served 3 human lifetimes.
Yeah.
The Empire is only really around for, like, 18 years. But I guess, I don't know if he's, like, maybe just in general, he was an indentured servant, and Empire, I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Well, it could have been, honestly, he could have been, like, lumping the old Republic in with the Empire. Because, like, for a lot of people...
Or maybe... Like, he's just, like, exaggerated, like, what seems like 3 human lifetimes. Like, I worked so hard. I don't know.
Well, and it also might have, like, to the average person, there might not have been a huge difference from the Republic to the Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all the same government.
There's still warlords, and there's still, like, bad governments within the Republic. So, whatever.
Yeah.
But then that's when he brings up the bait, we talked about it earlier, about the arm wrestling, and Baby Yoda gets real protective, and wants to
protect the Mandalorian.
Yeah, she starts choking her, and everyone's like freaking out, like, what the fuck is this? Like, we don't know what this is. And he's like, Mandalorian's like, I'm not really sure what it is either.
Right.
But he's adorable.
Yeah.
And pinches a little cheek.
Well, it was definitely like a cool foreshadowing of the Baby Yoda's power and everything.
Yeah. And then, the mystery. But again, that's what I like about it. It's like, not everybody knows what the Force is. Like, it makes sense. They wouldn't know. Why would they know? It's like, that's why, going back to episode 7, like, when they're like, oh, you mean Luke, the legendary? It's like, why the fuck would you know that? It would have been better if they were just completely clueless, and then Han is the one that tells them.
Right.
Like, what's a Jedi? Oh, well, it's this thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. And then they find out, and they're like, now do you believe? And then that's how the movie ends.
Well,
I just rewrote The Force Awakens. You're welcome.
Well, we can cover the details of 7 and 8.
Okay, so 7, just they get to the... Oh, the funny thing, too, is Keel makes him bring, not just the droid, but also those fucking monsters.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, they're coming, too. And he's just like, okay.
Well, the basic premise here, and there's a lot of twists and turns along the way, is that Mandalorian's putting together a team.
Yep.
And they're going to go in, take care of business.
Apollo Creed.
Right. And then they're going to hopefully live happily ever after. And Apollo Creed is initially on their team. However, he's the classic traitor in the midst.
You don't know that yet. They're all hanging out. And I love when he sees Baby Yoda for the first time. And he's just like, he's so cute.
Yeah.
I can see why everyone... He's so wrinkly.
Yeah.
Like, I just love the way he describes Baby Yoda. It's like one of the funniest scenes.
It's really good.
But they get attacked by these winged creatures.
He's like little dragon things.
Yeah, and he gets really fucking hurt.
Right.
And that's when Baby Yoda comes in. Heals his ass.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was
But
weird.
he also... And again, it's like with episode 7 when Rey heals Kylo Ren. It's like maybe taking the evil out.
Right.
It's like...
In episode 9,
In episode 9 of Star Wars. In episode 7 of the show, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda healing him. It's also like waking him up to maybe like, hey, don't be such a douchebag.
Well, yeah, it's like...
I don't know how that works.
Well, we talked about that in our Skywalker episode a couple episodes ago, where Rey explained to BB-8 how I heal people is I take the Force out of me and I put it into them.
Yeah.
And if you figure that Baby Yoda has the good Force in him, and to heal Carl Weathers, he puts the good Force in Carl Weathers, then naturally Carl Weathers would... Say that to a judge. Well, yes.
Why? Put the good Force.
Put the good Force in him. But then Carl Weathers has a change of heart, and he's like... I'm not going to betray you guys.
Well, he also realizes, or you could just, maybe it's not that mystical, he just heals him.
Yeah, it could be.
He's just like, hey, this thing just saved my life. It didn't have to do that.
It could be that,
I'm not going to turn on it, and then that's when he turns on his guys and kills them.
Cold blood.
Yeah, and he's like, and they're like, what the fuck? He's like, hey, listen, man, it's all cool, man.
Right.
Now we're cool.
Yeah, well.
I killed our backup.
And they go in, and... we're kind of like,
we're almost at the end of episode 7. Well, IG 11 was he was at the ship. Yeah. He left him at the ship.
He was staying at the ship.
Yeah.
Now, as we transition into episode 8.
Well, it ends with them going. They see Werner Herzog.
Yep.
I'm saying his name right. Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog, yeah.
And obviously back to him being Werner Herzog and see the. What's the line? I want to see the baby,
right?
Which is everyone's like using now for memes, and of course it's like the whole Mandalorian's just memes.
Yeah,
you could probably break down all 8 episodes into like 25 memes, and you don't have to watch the show.
Well, the show becomes at this point, to me, in a really good way, like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah,
there's that great scene at the very end of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid where the Mexican army, or I forget what country they were in, Venezuela or Chile or whatever, the army is setting up positions, and they've got Butch and Sundance surrounded.
Yeah.
And they're getting sniper positions, and they're setting up a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of
exactly what happened in this.
Yeah.
In E-phaser, or whatever they call it. E-field.
Yeah.
And Butch and Sundance are trapped, and they have very little ammo left, and they're not they're fucked. They're gonna die, and that's kind of exactly the scene they set up here. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Taika Waititi was specifically calling out Butch and Sundance when he directed this.
So they in 7 right before it ends, Werner Herzog, whatever, and then all of a sudden he gets killed. By a bunch of, it's like the bad guy gets killed by the badder guy. It's
right.
Like I don't know. I find it weird that they killed him. Like I don't know. Maybe he was a dick or something. But Moff Gideon wanted to make a grand entrance. Yeah. And they want to get the baby. Like he tells Keel, get the baby out of here.
Right.
And he
chucks him. Yeah.
Rides as fast as he can. Takes the baby. Oh, they give the pods empty.
Yeah.
You get the baby to him, and Keel didn't make it.
No. A pair of speeder bike troopers chased him down, killed him, scooped up the
baby, and that's how the episode. And Moff Gideon introduces himself, comes down the TIE fighter. It's pretty cool, like the wings full.
Yes,
it's a new TIE fighter.
Yeah, it's a cool TIE fighter, and he's got like a Vader-esque.
It's very Imperial looking. Yes. He is a Moff, which I find is a weird word.
Yes,
a Moff.
Well, he's got a cape.
Yep,
and he's all in black.
And he sounds like Gustav from Breaking Bad because it's the same actor.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they said, "Hey, you know what? Do a little more Breaking Bad and a little less Do the Right Thing."
Right,
Do the Right Thing.
Oh, that was a great movie.
That's the movie where he someone steps on his sneakers.
Right.
And he gets
his few Jordans.
Yeah. So
that was a great scene. Yeah. That would have been great if someone stepped on. Yeah.
So my sneakers. Yeah, that'd be a great reference.
My new Moffs.
My new Moffs.
Well,
Air Moffs.
Yeah. So and you meet Moff Gideon.
Right, and as he's introducing himself and saying, like, you don't know how important his baby is to me, while it's being spliced with the scenes with Quill trying to escape, and then getting killed, and then the baby being scooped up, and that's how the episode ends. So
right, and in the beginning of 8, these stormtroopers are sitting
troopers.
Yeah, scout troopers.
Played by Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
And, which is kind of funny, because I brought him up.
With Last Man on Earth. Oh, no.
Well, with that guy from Last Man on Earth.
Yes, right.
So it's kind of funny that who knows, a lot of the same producers, they know each other. But, like, he played the scout trooper. And there's another guy, I forgot his name. He's been in a lot of other stuff, too. He's the other scout trooper. And it's kind of just a fun thing, because you don't see him in it. Right. But I realized later it was him, because I read about it.
But they're joking around about how Gideon's, like, killing all his own men just to prove a point. Yeah. And he's set out to be, like, just an awful tyrant.
And people, it's funny because people are like, I want to see a whole show of these guys. Well, they're not going to because IG-11 crushed them.
Yeah.
Killed them. Mercifully. Just crushed them.
Right.
But
snapped the guy's arm.
Everyone's like, they said that Jason Sudeikis said that, like, he was getting so much shit from people because he punches the Baby Yoda bag with Baby Yoda. Right. He's like, shut up. It's like really funny.
It is funny.
It is funny. You don't see him actually punch Baby Yoda. But it's funny, though, that when he made the show probably like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Or who knows when the fuck he made this episode. I don't know. I'm wondering, like, I'm sure all 8 episodes were in the bag before they aired.
Probably, yeah.
Or maybe they were still working on the effects.
Could be.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that all the principal photography and all that stuff is done.
Yeah.
Then when he's punching Baby Yoda, I'm sure he was probably never thinking like, oh, I'm going to get bombarded on Twitter for beating everybody's new favorite thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like he said, he's like, I wish I didn't do that. I'm getting like people are like tweet, like saying horrible shit to him, like as if he intentionally wanted to beat up Baby Yoda. It's like, dude, this is a funny scene.
Well, it was a funny scene. I thought it was a little incongruous at first. I was like, I don't know if I love this. It was a great scene.
But that's why this is why the TV show works.
Yes.
Because like we said, when we watched episode 9, and there's that part when like the two troopers are looking at each other.
Right.
And the one guy's like, hey, look, Knights of Ren. It just took me out of for a second. It was like, it just looked like I said, the Family Guy would... Yeah. Peter Griffin sees the chicken is bubble. Yeah, right. The chicken's proper fat. You know, I was like...
right. But in a TV show, it works much better.
Right, but because there's a lot more time. They don't, it's... Yeah. Again, that's why I'm like, just don't make the fucking movies anymore. Right. Just stop. Take a break, because you're never going to... Movies are like... Especially, like, you can make a good movie, but man, to make like an action movie with big spectacle, you gotta like come up with something new every time. And then the problem is like to do that though, you lose those character moments because you have only so much time, and that's why TV shows work, because you can do those great character moments and those funny little scenes. It's more forgiving, right? We can learn more about these new characters. It's like, I don't know. Okay, so the IG-11 droid comes in, and now it's almost like to prove that not all robots are bad to Mandalorian. Well,
it's weird because, like, I mean, it's a great episode, but not a ton happens. They basically...
A lot happens. What do you mean? Well, they're like... It's weird. Moff Gideon's giving them so much time. Yes. To, like, basically hide in the... I don't know. It's like 2 towers a little bit.
I think Moff Gideon doesn't want the kid, the child, to get hurt. Right. He wants the child alive. Yeah.
But I like how he tells him, like, you can't trust me.
Yeah. He's like, well, I mean, it was like a cool scene because, like, you're right, you can't trust that character.
Well, he says it.
But he says, like, look, right now, we all kind of want the same thing, and you can work with that. Like, we can all... Everyone...
I like that he knew who they were.
Yeah, he called that out.
He knew that's where he calls out Cara Dune from
Alderaan.
Alderaan. Yeah. So, again, it's kind of cool to see someone from Alderaan. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how, like, in the Star Wars movies, Leia is, like, basically the only Alderaan person in the movies. Like, you don't ever see anybody talk about Alderaan ever again. So it was kind of cool to, like, see someone from Alderaan, like, reference that. Yes. It's like, that's a big deal in the Star Wars, the planet gets blown up.
Well, here's what I meant by, like, not much happens. I mean, I know a lot happens, but, like, essentially, they're pinned down in the dwelling, and they escape.
And so one of the best parts, as that's happening, and then that's when you learn the name of the Mandalorian. Yes. Gideon obviously knows who he is. He says the name is Din Djarin.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he knew Carl Weathers' character was the great boxer. Yeah. Friend of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Action Jackson. Yep. And that great episode, those episodes of Arrested Development.
He calls them out. He's clearly been set up as a super formidable foe. Yeah. And it's weird because you meet the big bad. You meet the big bad guy, like, with not much time left in the show.
So, while that's all happening, though, IG-11's on a speeder bike, shooting his way through with Baby Yoda in a pouch.
Strapped into a pouch.
He's like, right. Like, he's so cute, like, as... Gideon's just murdering,
just eliminating anything in its path.
Any Imperial thing in the way, anything that's in a stormtrooper outfit is getting destroyed. Yeah,
and a lot of them are just like sitting around. Yeah, they're just like examining fruit.
Jokes that said Baby Yoda's a dark side character actually, because he's just like so many things get killed. You ever seen that meme with Baby Yoda? And it's like Mandalorian shooting, and you see the baby next to him. And he's like, "Do it." Right. Kill him. Do it. Well, so then IG-11 shows up with the baby, but he's there to cut the hole. Yeah, and they were able to escape, but in that process, I like when they bring in that flamethrower guy. Oh yeah, I just like the way he looked. Like, it's funny. He almost looked like a monster, but all they did was just paint red in some locations of the Stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
But he looked like a
very terrifying
dragon. Yeah. Like it was, and he had the flamethrower, but I was like, that's when Baby Yoda does his little hand thing.
He stops the flames.
Yep.
But Mando gets hurt. And this, honestly, I even posted on this, like, on my stories. I thought this was, like, a really kind of poignant scene where Mando gets hurt.
It's just funny. Like, everyone else, like, it's, Gideon's a formidable villain, and all the Stormtroopers are useless. Because Gideon can actually shoot targets.
Right.
And he's the only one who is able to, like Mando's able to get his hand on that Gatling gun. And he's the one that knows to blow it up, hit the base, blow it up.
Yeah.
So Mando gets hurt right there. And he also is able to, like, actually aim, and he shoots Mando in the back of the head.
Yeah. And so Mando says to the rebel shock trooper...
Cara Dune.
Yep, Cara Dune, you got to take care of the kid. Leave me here.
Yeah, she's like, no.
Right, but they do leave him there. And IG-11 starts healing...
Well, he's like...
Mando.
Let me heal you.
Yeah.
I have Baka shit or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, no. He's like, I can't take my helmet off for anyone,
any living thing.
He's like, I'm not a living thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, loophole.
Right. Well, but there's this scene where, like...
loophole.
There's that, and then you get the feeling like the Mandalorian sees IG-11 as like a person, like as a human.
Well, IG-11's like, he's like... Yeah,
But then even in the... Okay, so then...
That's because Keel says to him, too, like, droids are just reflections of us.
Right. But then they escape, and they run into the armor, and it's revealed that a lot of all those, or many of those Mandalorians probably died.
Well, he saves Mando... Well, you see Mando's face.
Yep. Oh, yeah, he takes off his helmet.
I don't know why everyone was like, what's he going to look like? I'm like, he's going to look like the actor.
Right, you just Google the actor.
He just looked kind of gross, because he was all sweaty and bloody. Did he have like a weird mustache, or like a gross corner mustache?
Could have. I didn't really.
I was like, okay, I was like, it was hard to tell if that was just like dirt or sweat.
Right.
Like,
it looked like he looked dirty and sweaty, and his hair was kind of
corner, those weird little corner mustaches.
Well, they escape, and in the process of escaping, they run into the armorer.
Well, yeah, they're like in the sewers, basically, of,
cool little
of
scene.
Navarro, whatever the fucking planet's called.
And then...
the armor... You see a bunch of armor, like a pile of Mandalorian armor, and you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Right, yeah.
And then that woman shows up. And
said it was the Empire.
Exposition time.
Yeah. And then they go through this lava river, and eventually they come to the point where...
Well, the lava river is awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool looking.
Okay, so she gives him a backpack.
Yep.
She's like, you earned it. Here you
go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's some dead Mando guy.
Right. Probably.
Well, what did she call it? Flight of the Phoenix?
Something like that.
Have you ever done Rise of the Phoenix?
Something like that, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Right. And she's like, well, you got to practice with this, and then... Eventually, it'll obey your commands.
Okay. So, and then he's like, come with us. And she's like, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
Because...
well, she had some ass to kick.
Yeah. They had to have a cool ass-kicking scene where she basically took out all the Stormtroopers that were coming after her.
With like a stick.
One stick. Yeah, she just sticked them to death.
Yeah.
It was pretty badass.
Well, they're just about to escape. And
I like that droid that looks like... You think at first it's like an R2 unit?
Oh, yeah.
But it's like that was awesome. And then it stands up.
Or something.
Well, it was like, it had a body.
Yeah.
It was like somebody redid a R2 unit and gave it like legs and arms. Like more humanoid looking.
Right.
So it was kind of cool looking. It was like something different that you haven't seen in Star Wars before.
It was like a real kind of like ancient Greek type of deal.
Like,
almost like the
River Styx?
Yeah, almost like that.
Yeah, because they're in a lava river.
Yeah.
And the best is, I don't know if it's Cara Dune or one of them starts shooting at it. Like, what are you doing? Like, well, it's like lava against... This thing has obviously not been operated in a while. That droid was like sleeping for who knows how long.
It was like encrusted with lava.
Like everything about it. Like,
well, they're about to escape, and they realize there's a battalion of stormtroopers there. And IG-11 is like, I'm going to go self-destruct. Yeah. And the Mandalorian's like, there's got to be some other way. And IG-11's like, don't be sad.
You can't die. I'm trying to think of what movie. Not Sloth, but like,
not Terminator.
It's kind of like Terminator. It's like 2.
But like, But
I will never understand how you'll cry.
But Mandalorian is sad. He's sad that the robot's going to die, and the robot calls him out. The robot's like, "Look, I analyze voices. You're sad. You know, you don't need to be sad because I'm just a machine." But it's like this weird kind of. Well, it's a weird scene. Yeah. Anyway,
it's like what my VCR said to me before. Yeah. Died, yeah.
But IG-11 does it, and he explodes and kills them all.
Yep.
And then they come out through the other side, but there's a fucking TIE fighter there with Moff Gideon.
Yep.
And
this seems like okay. I was like a
little north by northwest.
Yeah, like he has to I gotta take it out now. I'm gonna use my jetpack. It's like okay. Yeah. It's very abrupt. So I'm saying like an extra couple more minutes, maybe a little more interaction with Gideon. It's fine. Obviously, he's coming back.
Right. Well, the big reveal is Boba Fett, the Mandalorian,
fake Boba Fett.
Jetpacks his way up there, grappling hooks, and improbably destroys the TIE fighter.
Well, he puts a charger on it.
Earlier in the episode, he said, "I used my last charge," and then when they were with the armorer, she's like, "Restock your munitions."
Yeah,
it was very well done. Like,
there's not
loose ends.
There's any holes in any of the series?
It doesn't seem like
it's pretty tight ship. There's not really any holes.
No, look. Favreau wrote the Avengers.
But this is where sometimes TV's just better than a movie.
Yeah.
Because even movies, like, sometimes even the studio comes in
and
fucks with it. The director.
Something gets cut.
It's not even up to the director in the end. It's like everyone's giving shit on J.J. Abrams. Like, dude, it probably wasn't up to him in the end. It's like the studios come in, they edit the fuck out. They're like, nope, you know what? We did a test study and no one likes this character. You gotta remove it. Right. You know, but in a TV show, they don't really have time to do that.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They have it's funny. They give that's why some TV is better than some, especially with this type of fiction.
Yeah.
With this type.
No, it does much better on TV. You're right.
It's like Star Trek movies are okay, but at the end of the day, the series is always better because you can do so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get bigger budget, bigger effects.
But
sometimes it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
so he goes, he blows up the ship, and like you said, it's good. There's little details in there. It's not like all of a sudden I got a thing here. You know,
he got it from the armorer.
You don't have to worry about the theaters airing one more movie, so you edit out 20 important minutes from the movie, and all those details get lost.
But they escape the Mandalorian and the child, and Grief decides to stay on the planet.
And he asks basically, Well, he doesn't. It's not like they escape. The TIE fighter gets destroyed. Someone's like, why did they check to see? Whatever. Because they're going to save for season 2.
Yeah.
That's what Mando's like, looked at the screen and went, we'll worry about that.
We'll worry about that later.
2. And then his eye thing winked.
But it seems fine. And then we cut to the last scene of The Mandalorian.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Because I know this is is this the longest one yet? The longer you...
It may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. We did a whole series. And we talked about other things that had nothing to do with the series.
That's true.
I had that thing about Don Knotts. Right? We talked about Don Knotts. I'm sure we did.
No. Tim Conway.
Tim Conway.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, well, he asked Mando to stay. He's like, listen, you're welcome back in the guild. You're going to get the,
pick of the litter.
Pick of the litter, do whatever the hell you want. You're welcome back here. Everything's great. La-di-da. And then he's like, no, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because the armory lady basically said, that was the thing.
You got to go find this kid's family.
Yeah, this is the foundling. And that's where you also learned about him. That he was saved by Mandalorian. But here's the thing. And this is why a lot of people who watched Rebels, watched Clone Wars are excited. Because that wasn't just the Mandalorians. That was the Death Watch. And that was a group from the Clone Wars series. And he was basically rescued by one of the Death Watch characters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We don't know which one it was yet. And so that's why people are like, holy shit, are we going to see Ahsoka, a live-action Ahsoka show up in Mandalorian? Are we going to see, any of these live-action characters, come in live-action? So it opens up, again, that's why it's it's kind of cool, the TV element, with the cartoons and Mandalorian, it's it creates almost its own universe.
Right.
It kind of does more successfully what Disney was trying really desperately to do with Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah.
They were trying to create another franchise of Star Wars where they had like that guy with the tubes because he's in Rogue One, and you see him in Solo, obviously in the past.
Yes.
But like they wanted to really create a Star Wars franchise, but it's like, no, this is the way to do it. Just you got it. It's already there.
Right.
You already have 2 series. And I know Mandalorian's live action, but that's kind of cool. It's all CGI anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So just, expand on that. Your fans are there. You're going to build an audience. And then you have new fans. And then those fans are going to now go back and watch Clone Wars.
Yeah.
They're going to go back and watch
It
Rebels.
feeds itself, yeah.
It feeds itself. It's like, it does what Disney was trying to do when they didn't need to. It's already there.
Well, the last scene in The
again,
Mandalorian
feeds back into the Clone Wars, because I didn't realize what it was at first too, but then I remembered the Darksaber is you see the TIE fighter leave. You see the TIE fighter. Mando already said goodbye to them. He rockets off. You see Baby Yoda waving by in the rocket pack. Super cute.
Oh, adorable.
And then as he flies away, he gives a little marble to Baby Yoda. It's like,
that was cute. Yeah.
He goes, son. He doesn't say that. Little green goblin son. Here you go, money bags. Here you go. Yeah, cash money.
Right.
The TIE fighter sitting there, and then all of a sudden you see something that looks like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Open up the hole. At first I thought it was a lightsaber, but I'm like, no, that's not a lightsaber.
It didn't. Yeah.
It looks more like a sword.
Right. It's a different.
It's called
blade.
a Darksaber, and I guess like the Mandalorians again. It was touched on in Clone Wars. I don't know if it's in the books. I'm sure. It's been touched on, those things. But usually the leader of the Mandalorians has it. Like one of the characters from Rebels had it for a while. She was like the leader of the group, and so it's kind of interesting. That's why people think that the girl. There was a joke when Rebels came out. There was a girl in it who people were just calling Girl Boba Fett.
Okay.
Her name was Sabine, and she was a Mandalorian. Happened to be one of the rebels.
Right.
So, and she basically was a Girl Boba Fett. Just like as a Mandalorian's just another Boba Fett.
Right.
People are like, holy shit, are we going to see her in this series?
Yeah.
Live action.
Right.
They got to cast somebody, and it's Sabine. So it just opens up the whole thing. It's like, how does Gideon have the saber?
Right.
Is he a Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Was he a Mandalorian?
Right.
Because they have a beef with the Empire, and he's a fucking Moff, so he's a high-ranking.
Did he turn coat? Yeah.
There's a lot. The show is awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I said, there's a lot of good TV this year. A lot of things I really enjoyed watching. I don't think anything drew me in as much as The Mandalorian, and maybe it was that it was a week-by-week show instead of a binge watch.
And that's a smart. Again, I know you could. We could say like,
sure,
it's genius, but at the same time, it's genius too, because it's like every new Baby Yoda scene was a gift that people passed around on Twitter.
Yeah,
and made shit tons of memes. I mean, my God, the amount of memes probably generated from this show since it aired. It aired in
something like that.
November.
Yeah.
Whenever, right when Disney Plus premiered, it was like middle of November, I think. That's insane. It's
the cool thing about it was that like sometimes they'll drop a show on Netflix and there'll be like 10 episodes available, and by the time I watch the first one, everyone's already done talking about it.
Yeah.
And I can't join in on the fun on Twitter.
And I don't want to ruin people's viewing experience, but if Netflix was smart, they should make season 4 fucking Stranger Things weekly.
Yeah, right? Because if let's say I didn't watch Mandalorian episode 1, and Mandalorian episode 1 came out and it was revealed that there was a Baby Yoda and it looked awesome and everyone loved it. Fuck yeah, I'm going to watch episode 2, and by delaying it a week, I can watch episode 2 with everyone else. Yeah. And it becomes an event, and I can join in on Twitter.
Watch it like a million times.
Right, and so it gives people, instead of you got one shot to get in on it, you had, with The Mandalorian, you had
Game of Thrones was around for years, and you had to wait weekly for 10 episodes, and then you had to wait a year. The funny thing about Netflix shows is they come out, they dump them all at once, and sometimes you have to wait 2 or 3 years for a season. So for some shows, it's really weird. But I mean, you're done, and then you forget about it, and then you see like the release schedule, like, oh, I remember that show, kind of.
Right.
But yeah, it grows more. It's like Seinfeld. Like there's something about like organically growing a show. Like I said, Stranger Things worked.
Oh yeah,
Orange is the New Black
what it was.
Worked.
Right.
There's some like shows on Netflix that, and I'm not saying like Netflix needs to change everything it's doing because of fucking, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the first Star Wars show. It had fucking Baby Yoda in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of unfair things there's a lot of it could have failed if it sucked.
No, sure, but
I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good show.
Yeah.
It just happened to have those elements that elevates it higher. Netflix doesn't have that luxury of having a 40-year iconic intellectual property that Disney bought, spent billions to get, and finally
that's all true.
It's funny. It's like they finally got Star Wars right because it's almost like probably left it alone.
Yeah,
and let the guy. It's like
let someone who really enjoyed the property do his thing.
Dave Filoni is like supposedly Lucas got involved with the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Not saying that he's
right.
The funny thing about Lucas, I was reading something about it. Like he really wanted with the prequels, he was hoping people would have directed it.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering. I don't think people wanted to work with him because he might be like a tyrant or something.
Right.
But you know, maybe that's where it would have benefited if he was hoping Luke Spielberg was going to direct one.
Right.
Supposedly he was trying to get. Who's the guy who did like? There was that kid's book with the monsters.
Oh, Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, who directed that?
Spike Jonze?
I think he was trying to get Spike Jonze or someone like that to direct episode 2.
That. Yeah, I could see that.
Like he was trying, like, you know...
outside the box stuff, yeah.
Try to get somebody else, while, you know, work with them, but, like, not have to be at every, you know, sit there. And then have, like, a real creative eye, like, visual eye directed. And, you know, I think that's where this is succeeding. It's almost like... And I'm afraid now that it did so well, are the Disney people going to get more involved?
Let's hope not. I
don't know. It's a different... You know what? Maybe they won't, because it's a different animal. At the end of the day, it's like streaming. It's content. And in their mind, the movies are just... Movies are like...
That's the glamour
tough.
property, yeah.
You got 1 week in a movie. You got 1 week to make a splash. If the movie bombs...
That's that. Yeah.
You're done. Like, it's just. What is? There's a joke like Baby Groot versus Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is, Baby Groot, everyone already knew about before the movie came out.
Sure.
Also doesn't have the cachet.
Yeah, right.
It's a stupid argument. Other quick thing, we'll close it out. Baby Yoda. One of the best things Disney did was to make sure no one fucking knew about Baby Yoda.
That was remarkably well kept.
People were like, someone was like, "Oh, Disney fucked up by not having Baby Yoda toys."
They did not fuck up at all.
Now, maybe the toys when they come out in the spring this year won't sell as well they would have probably in this Christmas.
True.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, you gotta think big picture instead of like short gains. It's like this is like gonna make. If people knew about Baby Yoda before Mandalorian came out,
the show wouldn't be as
big.
It
would have allowed people to come in, rip it apart. Like, what the fuck is this?
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
It caught people off guard, and it caught their hearts.
No, it is. It was genius. I mean, like,
it's true.
You go in, like, oh, this is cool. And then all of a sudden, a little pot opens up, and you see fucking the last thing you would ever think you would see in this. And that's what's so good. Again, it's like, it works because you know nothing about the Yoda species.
No, it's just look. The thing's adorable. It's done so well. It's used in the proper amount. It doesn't dominate the show, but it's like a good central part of it.
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's just it works on every level for me. You know, for most people, I would imagine. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, but my question to you before we end is. How am I going to convince people to get into phrenology with Mandalorian? Because it was easy to do it Last Jedi because a lot of people didn't like it.
Right.
This is going to be tough.
This is a tougher one.
To get people into white premises and like, how am I going to convince people to vote against their economic well-being, their environment, their health care?
Well, I would say that, like, look, the Mandalorian came back and he gave a portion of his steel to the foundlings, which is clearly socialism, and everyone died. So
I made a joke and said about the mask.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have made like some Muslim joke or something. And someone
yeah,
it's a man though. It's a man, so it's different.
Right.
That's why the knuckleheads are okay with it.
Well, look, they didn't call it the Mandalorian. All right, I'll tell you that.
But that woman did kick ass.
She was amazing.
She's but never mind. They probably think she's like Tulsi.
All right. Yeah. All right, that's a good place to end
it. So yeah, but they announced it'll be back in the fall.
It's gonna be. I can't.
I originally thought that we were gonna have to wait a very long time for season 2, like
too.
some Game of Thrones bullshit. We have to wait like 2 seasons. But no, it's good.
Well, yeah. No, I'm super looking forward to it. To tide us over, what starts in like a couple weeks is the Picard series.
I don't have CBS, and I'm not going to pay for it unless CBS wants to sponsor the show.
We should reach out.
We should. I'm sure if they listened to our show, they would think that we were perfect shills,
right?
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll shill.
Exactly.
For one episode, I'll shill.
Who does Matt Lauer work for? He was NBC, right?
Yeah.
CBS. So CBS shouldn't have anything against
CBS? CBS? A little whistle in there when you said that.
Mercy.
What was that? Les Moonves is the Matt Lauer of CBS.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore.
Right.
So we could talk about him.
Yeah.
All right. So CBS, if you want me to talk about Picard,
hook us up.
Give me a...
Get us a screener.
I'll just get somebody's...
yeah, right? There you go.
Don't do that, guys.
No.
Or the Mandalorian will come get you.
Right.
All right, well...
Half Michael J. Fox, half car.
What are we hitting on, man? Doc, I'm in so much pain. Right. I don't know what to do, Marty.
I said unleaded.
Doc, stop sticking that there. Buddy.
Yeah, what are we going to cover next week?
We could talk about season 2 previews.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to Clockwork Orange at some point.
Yep, I like that idea.
I was thinking we should do Lord of the Rings.
And we should be able to...
movie of Lord of the Rings.
That would be good. I wouldn't mind seeing if we could track down 3 O'Clock High.
I want to see 3 O'Clock High. I think it's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's on something. I have it on DVD anyway, but cool. I don't have a DVD player. 3 O'Clock High is a good one. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, well,
I think we're going to have to talk about it.
We're leading up to that.
We've been... Season 1, we have hinted, just like the way the Mandalorian's hinting at things, we've been hinting all along Season 1 of Forrest Gump.
Right.
This is the season. Maybe we'll talk about Forrest Gump. Maybe.
Season.
But we don't want to blow our load. We might make you wait till season...
Yeah.
Before we be dead.
All right. Well, that's not a bad idea. Look, if something doesn't come up, let's do a season 2 preview.
Season 2 preview.
Yeah. Did you want to talk? Were you saying next week we should talk about all the stuff that we're considering?
No, that's weird.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, all right.
I'll watch something.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this special first episode of season 2.
All right.
Extra long episode.
Nice.
I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
You still going on about
that?
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That. Please like, comment, share, and if you haven't done already, please follow us on Instagram, YSGOAT, Facebook, YSGOAT, and Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you, and have a great day.